down Radio Free Tennessee. Your Tony Basilio show will begin momentarily. Keep it locked in right here at TonyBasilio.com and on your Tony Basilio app. And hey, do us a favor. Spread the word. Another award-winning, thought-provoking, action-packed edition of the Tony Basilio Show is coming up next. Tips are always appreciated here at TonyBasilio.com, home of the Tony Basilio Show. You found the Tony Basilio stream at TonyBasilio.com or on your smartphone or tablet. Another thrilling, chilling, and sometimes spilling edition of the Basilio Show is on the way next. Tips are always appreciated here at TonyBasilio.com.
Listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run
Boy,
Radio.
not good. I am so fired up for some baseball. That's what it is, a baseball preview. Too late, Laura said. Okay, she's working on the titles over there. I guess I got to start doing the titles. Who's fired up, focused, and prepared for some baseball, Matt Dixon? We got baseball weather outside. Matt, would you believe that 2 weeks ago? That we just in time to start the season, we've got some spring weather here in East Tennessee.
Very welcome sight to not have snow and ice covering the ground like we had for like 10 days.
And I've been out walking. I've been walking in the park. Let's see. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. It's been so nice to get outside. So just nice. And it's so good for your mood. And it's the season of amore. Because when the sky hits your eye like a big pizza pie, Bri, you know what that is, don't you? What is that, Bri?
No, but I'd like some pizza right now.
That's amore. Bri, what do you put on a pizza pie?
Mushrooms, could be sausage, could be hamburger beef, could be spinach. Could be the meatball pizza that they had the other day at Smoky Mountain Brewery.
Oh!
Which is delicious, by the way.
Ah, Dubsy. I never took you to be an Unga guy. When the sky hits your eye like a big pizza pie, you're up till 1 o'clock in the morning. When you're watching the Vols win a road game that's not a quad 1 win, that's a more. You know how bad these teams are at the bottom of the league, Matt? You go on the road and you win a game in the SEC and it's not even a quad 1 win. How bad is that, Matt? 3 of them. There are 3 teams in this league. South Carolina, not a quad 1 win. Ole Miss, not a quad 1 win. I mean, what in the world, guys? That used to be a
half of
given.
Those road wins by SEC teams are at the expense of the bottom 5 teams. 22 of the 42 are at the expense of the bottom 5.
Read the statistic, because we're getting ready to preview one of the bottom feeders in the league with the great Ron Higgins. But really, I want to talk about the Lane Kiffin circus with him. Matt, if we're talking to Higgs coming up, and you bring him on under the pretext of doing a basketball preview for Saturday night, if you're me, right, what percentage of this do we talk about the basketball deal? What percentage of this do we talk about the football and even skim mulkey?
I think you could go 75% about football.
Yeah.
I mean, if you wanted to talk Kim Mulkey, although I guess John Adams isn't here to do
Go!
that. I mean, you mentioned college baseball. You could probably talk
college
about LSU baseball.
That's a great idea.
Instead of their basketball team.
Great idea. Matt, I don't know if you saw the item, but recently Dave Van Horn gave an interview, and he basically admitted that he talked Tony Vitello. He counseled him into taking the Giants job. He said, look, you're going to carry the flag for all of college baseball. You're the first guy that's ever gotten an opportunity like this, and if it crashes out on you, you can always end up back here. You could always end up back in college baseball. Somebody would always take you. Those guys couldn't wait to get Tony Vitello out of here, Matt, so they could have college baseball back. Isn't that interesting that he would say that out loud? Yes.
Yes. Hopefully he's very successful with the Giants. Because I don't want to see him anywhere else bringing a team here.
David Ackworth has a great question, because the Vols last night, I have to give them credit, they were in the process of blowing out an absolutely morbid Mississippi Mistake team. Yeah, I want Tony, if he comes back, to get like the UCLA job. We can cheer for him. I can wear some of that baby blue.
Here's a hypothetical scenario. Would you be okay with Arkansas winning a national championship this year and Van Horn retiring, but they're unable to hire Vitello because he has enough success to stay with San Francisco?
Interesting. David Ackworth asks, here's some homework for Brian. Has a team ever given up an 18-0 run and still won a game? I would imagine the teams that have done that, you could probably count on one hand. Because generally, you give up an 18-0 run in a game and you're folding like a cheap tent. That's how good this Ament guy is, though. That's how good he is. Because this Ament guy...
Well, it's also how bad Mississippi State is.
And it's how bad they are. But Ament, you just flip him the ball. The other thing about 18-0 runs, and we've seen this in basketball, it really exhausts you to come back from a huge deficit. It's an exhausting thing. But that was... we were doing Garza Law, Tennessee basketball overtime, and I said to myself, I'm going to do about 45 minutes tonight and get out of here. Because, it's kind of Mississippi State, and it's kind of midnight, and it's kind of like, I don't know what it is, but that was sort of my sense. And then we were on here for like an hour and a half. Because I'm a sicko. And our team is, Bino's got a great analogy, a cross-sport analogy, with it being baseball season. The Vols have a leaky bullpen. Because last night's game, Matt, the way that thing was going, what was the score if that was a baseball game? At one point, it was what?
I think you mentioned it like 12-3, something of that, and 12-3, and going to the bottom of the 7th.
And then they ended up bringing the tying run. They ended up bringing the
They had the tying run on deck.
Yes.
Because it never got to be a one-score game. They never had, Mississippi State was never within closer than 5.
That's just what it felt like.
Yeah, but it's a great analogy. It's the more I think about it, the more it works.
Yeah.
You have
because you end up
the
mad.
turnovers or walks.
And,
yeah. Boot a couple of balls. You always end up putting guys on base.
And then you're mad at the end of the game.
Never have clean innings.
And you're mad at your team at the end of the game because you. And it's not just and you made a great point last night, and so did Nashville Lee. It's not just us. It's the game of college basketball. We're going to play this later, but the head coach at Mississippi State or at Kansas State freaked out last night, went in full freak out mode. He said to Kim Caldwell, "Hold my beer." You think what Kim Caldwell said Sunday was something? This cat went off last night. This cat went off, okay? I mean, this guy went off. And basically what he said is, get a real good look at the guys on my team because they're not going to be here next year.
Did you hear Tad Boyle do the same thing?
Brian, I think Brian, that this NIL era on the men's and women's side, I think it's going to start breaking these coaches. Kim Caldwell might have been the first to do it, but she ain't going to be the last. She is not going to be the last. This dude went off on his basketball team. And I mean off.
Jerome Tank.
Yes. It's what's for breakfast, Tang.
I mean, I consider him a national championship winning coach.
Well, there you go. Because he put out
Kentucky in the tournament one year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He freaked last night. Freaked out. Full freak out mode. And so, that's a new thing now. It's not even like ambiguous. It's like, hey, these guys aren't going to be here next year.
You're seeing coaches have emotional breakdowns like Wes Miller did last week and early out at Arizona State in press conferences. And February is usually kind of lends itself to that because it's been a long season and it's kind of in a grind.
I am so in favor of digging into what this is in terms of, is this a byproduct of, because we know that there's a season in football where kids check out. Our coach is now checking out on kids. Hey, I don't like this team. I put this team together. You know what I mean, Matt? Scramble the board. Scramble the board, Matt. I don't like this team. I'm done. I'm just going to go to the press conference. Because this guy apologizes to the fans. Jerome Tang did. Apologized to the fans. Apologized to the students. And then basically said, these guys won't be here next year.
Yeah, see, that's the part that I think is unique and new, because you're gonna basically just flip your roster. Like you don't have anything to start building towards. You don't have younger freshmen you're going to start introducing and playing more to try to develop. Like that's not a thing now because you're just flipping your roster. So it's just like, what are you actually playing for right now? And when there's not anything to play for in the present or for the future, you're kind of like stuck and you're in a spot like some of these teams are in right now where coaches don't really know what they're supposed to do.
And I just think it's an incredibly remarkable time when a sitting head coach would go up on a podium and say what this guy just said. I'm going to play this because Ron Higgins is on deck. I want Ron Higgins' thoughts on this. We're truly in a new era. I mean, I always thought during the NIL era that kids would quit on programs and look for their next stop. Okay, fine. I think we all agree that's kind of a thing, and we all agree that's sort of a possibility, and we all agree that, listen to this.
Always do. Blessed to do this, but this was embarrassing. These dudes do not deserve to wear this uniform. There will be very few of them in it next year. I'm embarrassed for the university. I'm embarrassed for our fans, our student section. It is just ridiculous. We got practice at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, and we will get this thing right. I have no answer and no word. I got 2 questions, so whoever want to ask 2 questions, I'll answer them to the best of my ability right now. But right now, I'm pissed, and this is all right. Questions.
So let me bring Ron Higgins in here. So Ron, this is Jerome Tang last night at Kansas State, who basically is saying none of my guys will be here next year. We literally, it's the roster he put. You're laughing. It's the roster he put together, and he's being paid several $1 million to coach it. It's his guys. Can you do that, Ron? Can you go before a microphone now? Because this is starting to happen in college basketball now. Hey, it's not my fault. I didn't do it. It's not my fault.
Well, I mean, yeah, he recruited them, but I mean, I don't know how you get people to play hard. I mean, honestly, I know Tennessee women's coach said the same thing about her team.
Yeah.
Last weekend?
Yes.
You know what? Honest to God, in the era of NIL when you're getting paid, I have no problem with that.
Yep.
None.
Yep.
You're getting paid. Do your damn job, okay?
God, Higgins is going off now.
Do your job. This is a job now for you. You're getting paid, all right? Don't go out there and lollygag around. I mean, really. I mean, it's just. And I think coaches probably maybe in the past they didn't want to say it, like they're throwing their team under the bus. But now, if you go out there and just get hammered like that, I wish more coaches would say that. I wish Matt McMahon would say that, but he just stands over there, with his arms folded, like Barbara Eden, I Dream of Jeannie. I'm hoping he'll blink and something good will happen. But I don't mind that because I think coaches are now. You know what? All these guys, I'm in a business where guys renegotiate with me every year, and guys demand this much money. So to me, if we've coached them hard in practice and they come out here and they quit, yeah, I'm going to say this. I have no problem with that.
That guy ripped his team. I mean, I've never heard anything like that. He said, get a good look at them. They're not going to be here next year. By the way, we're practicing tomorrow at 6 a.m. I mean, it's like get a good look at them. Oh, yeah, we still have some season left. What I didn't get on there is he said at the front, he said, I'm a Christian. I'm Christ honoring. That's why I'm going to rip these guys. But Ron Higgins joins Shreveport Bossier Journal. Am I pronouncing that right? Bossier.
Bossier.
Damn it.
That's okay.
See, I wanted to give it the French thing, and now you're going Bossier on me.
It's Bossier, yeah. I mean, I know it looks like Bossier.
Y'all are confusing. Y'all are confusing, man.
Louisiana's all messed up, man. I mean, we are. That's the way we are. We're all screwed up like that.
So, Higgs, you grew up there, right? And then you worked in Memphis for a while, which is where you came on our radar, and then you did a bunch of other things. But yeah, you're in Memphis. Were you and John Adams like buddies growing up, or did you know each other young in the industry, or what?
Oh, I met him when he was. I was at LSU, working sports information and writing for the Advocate as a correspondent. And John had just come to the Advocate, and I personally got to know. John was not only a great writer and columnist,
yes,
but somebody who does everything with a straight face, and he doesn't know. Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't know how to take him. You don't. The other day we were having a conversation, and he said something to me, and I said, "Do you mean that, John?" And he goes, "Yeah." That thing he does, yeah. And I go, "John, how do I know you really?" Because you were one of the guys. Weren't you at his wedding when he got married in the Elvis wedding chapel in Vegas? Because he showed me some photos of that.
Mike Strange and I were dressed up in all his black as his bodyguards. Yeah. Elvis.
I mean, this John Adams guy, people hear him on here on Tuesdays, and they think it's like an act or whatever, but it's kind of not an act.
That's John. I mean, that's who he is. I mean, he's never really changed. He's been that way everywhere he's been, every stop he's been at. He's been that way, and a lot of people don't like him. A lot of people like him.
I love him.
That's the nature of a columnist. You don't want everybody to like you.
I think he's. I've even feuded with him down through the years, and I've always liked him. Let me ask you something. You're doing my job, okay? Put yourself in my shoes, and you're on with me.
Yep.
Do we spend more time right now talking about Lane Kiffin? Talking about the upcoming college baseball season, talking about LSU, Kim Mulkey, your thoughts on the Lady Vols and where they fit in the whole thing, or Saturday night's basketball game? Where would you prioritize Saturday night's basketball game when I put all that out there for you?
Probably last on the list because this is going to be like a practice game for Tennessee, honestly. Be a practice game. They'll got rolling by 25. Even if LSU shows up and tries to play, they're just not very good. Their best player at point guard, and De'Don Thomas from Vegas, who bought for like $2 million, has been hurt most of the year.
Yeah, he didn't.
Most of the SEC play has, and they just looked like they quit against Arkansas the other night. Arkansas just drubbed them on the home court badly. Sometimes they'll be competitive, and most times they're not. And when they're really not competitive, they go totally down, totally tank it like the other night. They couldn't play any worse than the other night going to Knoxville. I know that. So I'm sure Tennessee has to come out serious and take them serious. But Tennessee should probably win by at least 20. I mean, if they come out and play.
What's your take up close on the Lane Kiffin show? And have you? Do you have a sense of this guy yet? How strange he is?
First of all, people, when LSU got him, the reaction from the bitter Ole Miss people, or anybody, maybe probably some Tennessee fans, I understand that because he was only there 1 year. This guy's going to leave after 3 or 4 years. He's crazy. And I tell people, he's in Louisiana. We invented crazy in Louisiana, okay? We don't care. He's here for 4 years and does really good, great. We don't care how long he stays here. I mean, we like him for 4 or 5 years, sure. He might get bored. I don't know. I know why he came here besides the money. I get it. I got it before he even came out of his mouth. The guy wanted to go somewhere where he had unlimited resources, a really good in-state recruiting area if he needs it, and the fact that I think he wanted to get in a job where he felt pressure every single day. Not something like at Ole Miss where he built up over 6 years, did a great job. But the pressure at Ole Miss is not the same like the pressure at LSU. And it just, not trying to knock Ole Miss, but it's not the same. When you won 3 national championships under 3 different coaches, people expect, that to happen. They want to happen under Ron Kelly, and it didn't. And so they got a guy who went out and, they feel like he would be enthusiastic, be a really good recruiter.
Yep.
And he had that edge that LSU likes about their coaches.
Yes.
An edge to him. So, yeah, they're fine with him. He went out and had a great, I think he got like 54, 55, 56 new players, like 42, 43 in the portal. Best portal class they have. Mm-hmm. LSU spent a ton of money. They just basically when goes between LSU and Florida again, Lane Kiffin, and Kiffin talks to, Florida's AD, and the guy says, we're going to hire a general manager for football. And Kiffin's going, huh, really?
No.
And he calls LSU, and LSU says, look, we'll do whatever it takes for you to win. We'll give whatever you want. Just come in. All you got to do is coach, do your thing.
Yeah.
So where am I going to go?
And to prove what you're talking about, they had real lineman issues, and then they addressed that at the very end of the portal. They added Seaton, they added a couple more guys, and he said, I'll show you. I'm going to put together a team. They're going to be very formidable and very good.
And everybody says, and everybody, he put together a playoff-worthy team. So that's the pressure on him. They expect to get the playoff the first year. Yeah. And he's okay with that. I think that's what he wanted. He wanted to be in a place where they're that invested. And not saying Ole Miss isn't invested, but, LSU players, and you got 102,000 strong in their stadium. Ole Miss has 65. And I'm not saying Ole Miss has come a long way with all their athletics and their facilities. I don't know. I was in Memphis for a long time. And they've done a really good job. But, I don't understand. Everybody's so angry because he left it in, before the playoff. He wanted to coach in the playoff. LSU was willing to let him coach in the playoff. Ole Miss didn't want him. I said, okay. But they're angry, like, how can you leave us? Well, he left what he thought was a better job. And he's been there. Look, Ole Miss fans, they shouldn't even be as angry as Tennessee fans will always be about. He was only there for 1 year at Tennessee, okay? 1 year.
Yep.
He was at Ole Miss 6 seasons. Okay?
You know what's crazy, Ron? You know what's crazy? And Matt, I bring you in here. Even Kiffin, as flawed and as crazy and as wide open as he was, and they were wide open here. If you ever wanted to do a 30 for 30, he was a kid. He didn't really appreciate the opportunity. He was smug. He was spoiled. He was immature when he was here. Yep. Matt Dixon, I'm bringing you in here. I'm convinced that Lane Kiffin would have won big time here if he'd have stayed here, Matt. I'm convinced of that. Am I crazy, Matt? I think he would have won a ton here. A ton.
Well, with how crazy they were, they might have had 1 or 2 seasons of winning big, but that was gonna blow up at some point because the NCAA still had some power back then with how they were doing things in recruiting. But I do think the potential was there to at least have 1 or 2, really, really, really big seasons.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Kiffin was kind of set up with, you had Monty Kiffin was still a pretty good DC. But yeah, you were going to have an uber talented team but Kiffin was always going to be a short term the way he kind of treated the Tennessee job when he got here.
And Ron's right about LSU. The LSU thing burns hot. And when you lose there, you have to kind of appreciate those people because you don't just lose. Like, they kill you when you lose. When you lose like a big game or you make a coaching mistake, I mean, that stuff sticks with you. You and I, Ron, talked, and I didn't think Brian Kelly was ever going to work. I told you that from the get-go because his personality is such that he was just not going to succeed there. He was going to internalize everything. And Lane Kiffin's he might work there because he doesn't care if you criticize him. To your point, Ron, I know that he doesn't. I kind of know. I got to know him a little bit when he was here. He kind of likes the back and forth. He likes being ripped. It doesn't bother him. He's got a strange personality that way.
He's with John Adams' coaches.
Yes. Yes.
He the more you rip him, the more he likes it, and then he'll play with you.
He's strange.
Yeah, that's just the way. You know what? Every coach has their style. Kelly was really more of a professional type coach. And I think he treated his players that way and approached the job that way. And Kiffin's a college guy, man. He likes all the. He loves the social media stuff. He likes to recruit. I think he likes it lively. I mean, he came to a really lively place. Believe me, he wants it lively here every day of the week. So, yeah, I mean, that's a good assessment of Kevin. It's kind of who he is, and everybody, I mean, I knew what he was in press conferences. Lane speaks so low in press conferences,
Yep.
It's just the way he is. I think everybody was expecting him to come here and blast it out. I mean, and we had the press conference last week, and all the TV guys were saying, "Can he speak up? Is he going to speak up?" I said, "No, that's what he is. That's how loud he talks. He doesn't talk very loud." You know. It's almost like it's funny. It's almost like he's uncomfortable in front of a microphone. It's not. It's like
I agree with that. It's got an odd personality. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, as many times as he's been on front of a camera, it's just still difficult for him to string together 2 or 3 sentences without kind of pausing and giving and acting like I don't really want to do this. He's more comfortable on social media because he can tap away and pause and tap away and pause. And look, that's again, LSU fans have embraced him because they like their coaches a little bit on the wild side. I mean, they like Nick because Nick got angry. Players made a mistake. Nick would cuss him out coming off the field, and LSU fans loved that because they wanted to cuss the guy out. They wanted their coaches to hold people accountable, and Nick was like that. I think Kiffin, if you press him, he'll tell you that he regrets leaving Tennessee after 1 year.
He told me that. He told me that.
I think every coach has a regret in his career.
Yeah, it was his.
Saban told me, man, he goes, listen, I look back and I shouldn't have left LSU after 1 year. After 4 years, I shouldn't. He goes, but you know what? You have that in your career where you have a chance and you want to find out if you can do something. I wanted to find out if I could be a head coach in the pros, and it came along. I didn't expect, but I had to find out. At that point, I had to find out. And I found out I couldn't do it. So I went back to college, and it was at Alabama because the LSU job was taken. He says, but I think every coach has that in his career where, he at that point he makes a move that he thinks is like he's up, maybe Nick always wanted to try in the pros. Kiffin probably always wanted to coach USC. Because he loves it out there. He's been on that staff. He knows his stuff, and I don't think he expected that, but it happened. And so, but I think he looks back at that, like you said, he told you that. You look back on your career. I think everybody who has a job, just for normal people, me and you, everybody, there's a career move you made. You look back on it, and you go, that wasn't great.
Hey, Kiffin told me that. Ron, he told me that when he was right at the end of his run at USC. We interviewed him right before that season started. Yeah. And I said, Lane, do you ever regret leaving here? He said, every morning when I wake up, I think to myself, why did I do this? Now, and he said that right on the air while he was still employed at USC. He said, I think to myself every morning when I get up, why did I do that? He said, it's really the dumbest thing I've ever done.
Yeah, I really believe that. Everybody in life does that.
Sure.
There's probably a job. I know there's a job.
We all do.
Yeah. We all do. Yeah. And you wish you could go back and do it over, but you can't.
Yeah. And then with relationships, like you think, this person, I should have gotten more serious with that person, or, I should have thrown this one overboard.
Yeah.
It's like, it is. It's really true, because life is a series of choices. It just is. It's an interesting thing, because our fan base is interesting with Lane because we've got a love-hate relationship with him. Sometimes I love him. Sometimes I think he's just a totally immature clown. Sometimes I think he's all the above, and I still find him endearing, but he's not going to be boring. He's going to be good for the league. You and I have talked about the need for characters. There are some characters now in the league, and that's fun. That makes the deal have a little bit of I don't want everybody to be like the guy at Alabama. The guy at Alabama looks like a mannequin. No offense to him.
Kalen DeBoer? DeBoer?
Yeah,
he's a bore. Look, I firmly believe LSU's had a ton of income from new donors and old donors upping up once they got Lane.
Yeah.
I really believe it's part of when you hire a new head coach now, probably in football and basketball.
Yeah.
You want a guy not only that can win, but you look at him and say, this fans are gonna like this guy. They're gonna want to contribute money immediately. And he's like that. You know, I mean, you know, and again, everybody has a different personality. There are great coaches who are they're great to deal with. They're pleasant. They're funny. They're not outgoing.
Yeah.
Like LSU's baseball coach, Jay Johnson. Hell of a guy. Even quoted Jackie Moon last year one time after a game. But I think other coaches, you know, like DeBoer, he looks uncomfortable the whole time, and like where he is.
He looks like he's trying to pass a kidney stone or something, Ron. Or he's got one in his pants. He's got one down there. He's trying to hold in. You know, he's constipated or something.
It's like LSU fans desperately want Will Wade back. Want him back now. Go get him. He's in North Carolina State. Go get him. He's only got a $1 million buyout after this season. $1 million, but that's the cost of an offensive lineman. Go get him.
Ron Higgins breaking it down scientifically. All right, Higgs. So, what kind of baseball team are we going to have at LSU this year? Tomorrow, the season opens here without Tony Vitello. Speaking of characters, you talk about the power of character in sports. You talk about he made Tennessee an absolute world-class draw when they went on the road. When they went to LSU a few seasons back, Ron, it was totally electric. Totally electric. They had the greatest show on turf. I mean, think about what that guy did. When you talk about the power of that, just the power of the sheer force of a man's will.
You love a guy like that. If he's your coach, you love him. If he's not your coach, you hate him. And that's like Kiffin. Same thing.
It's
you
great.
Your coach.
It's great.
From afar, I love Tony Vitello. You know, I love guys like a Spurrier or Vitello or Kiffin. Somebody who just says exactly what they're thinking. They don't filter it. They just say it. He'll be. I'm sure he's missed around there. I know he'd be missed around the league. Yeah.
I woke up today with a hole in my heart, man, thinking about how baseball season. Matt, have you found yourself doing that? Because Matt covers it. Matt really gets immersed in it for us. Have you found yourself, Matt, doing that? Like now, come to the conclusion that it's really real that he's not here. Have you found yourself, Matt, now that we're here, doing the same thing I'm doing?
I think it'll hit tomorrow when he's not over there for all this, and you see the new stadium that he essentially got built.
It's weird,
and he's not. I think it'll really hit tomorrow.
And he's in Major League Baseball. Ron, none of those guys get an opportunity in Major League Baseball. We thought it was a joke when we first saw the story. You probably thought it was a joke.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know that's you know. I guess only Los Angeles was big enough to hold Tony Vitello's personality. I guess that's it, man. That area.
All right,
wherever he went, Giants, wherever he went.
Giants, yeah, San Francisco. Tell me about this LSU baseball team this year. What kind of club we have?
Well, they're ranked 1 or 2 in the polls, and they're really good.
Yeah.
He went out and had another great recruiting year. And one of the starting pitchers back. Probably has an entire starting outfield back, shortstops back. Went out and got another really great recruiting class. Picked up really key transfers to plug into different places. Trent Caraway from Oregon State, infielder. He'll be really, really good. Zach York, 6'2", and the heaviest LSU player in history at 295. First baseman, senior transfer. He plugged in the places they need to plug in. They feel really good about this team. They like everything about it. The thing about Jay Johnson is, what's interesting is like every year he learns something to make him better the next year. And like, you know, coming off their national championship, the first one they won, they lost almost their entire starting lineup, and they're completely their pitching rotation. They had to rebuild. This one is not as much as the rebuild, and that's why I think he feels really, really good about this team. The year after they won the national championship, they started, but then they lost 5 of their first 6 series or something like that. They played a bunch of ranked teams, and they rallied down the stretch and went to North Carolina in a regional, came with 1 out of winning that regional and hosting a super regional because there was an upset. He really likes this team. I mean, it's deep in pitching. It's deep everywhere. Yeah, they're going to be good. They'll be really, really good. I mean, they're number 1 and 2 for a reason. I mean, I think it's because of his recruiting and people. He's just a hell of a coach. I mean, he just really is. I mean, he's kind of a combination of old school field and analytics. And he has Obi-Wan Kenobi of college baseball, Skip Bertman. They talk once a week. So it's a good deal. He loves coaching here. The people love him. Like I said, he's great to work with. He's not as funny as Tony Vitello, but he can be funny. And he is as good with the media as Tony was. But I'll miss Tony Vitello. I'm not even living in Knoxville, and I miss him. It's like, listen, I still miss Will Wade, man. If there was an LSU game on and a North Carolina State game on, I'm watching North Carolina State.
You want you some Will Wade back, don't you? Let's bring back the smooth criminal. That's what I say. Hey, it's all legal now. Legalize it, Bob Marley. Let's go. Legalize it.
He recruited better people illegally than that man is recruiting legally.
Peter Tosh and whatnot. Let's legalize it. Legalize it. Peter Tosh.
Wade's got 4 guys in the NBA from LSU. I mean, Matt McMahon doesn't have a guy on his roster that could sniff the NBA. And this was his best recruiting year. Look, he's a nice guy.
I feel sorry
really
for
nice
Matt
guy.
McMahon. He's set up for failure there.
But they give him a 7-year contract. Every year they've got a little bit better talent. This is probably their best year of talent. They at least look like a basketball team. They're long and they're athletic. Got his shooter named McKinnon they got to watch out for. Little white dude can he can stroke it.
He'll go for 25.
But they somehow just don't. They just don't have it, man. I mean, I think, and the thing is, I don't know if LSU can fire McMahon because if you fire him, it's going to cost like $10 million to buy he and his staff. And LSU, I don't know. I mean, there's going to have to be some boosters who are fed up enough to want to change in basketball to be interested enough to say, yeah, we need to change this. Or they could say, no, we'll just go another year. Let's see if we can survive another year. I mean, this pay will be less and we get rid of him then.
Do they want Will Wade back there if that thing opens?
Oh, the fans want him back bad.
Would the administration have taken that crazy AD down there that said that this coach said that McMahon had to make the NCAA tournament or he was gone? I mean, that was really nice of him.
Yeah, there's a little conflict there. I know the past relationship, the new AD and Will probably didn't get along.
Oh.
But the president of LSU, who took over in October, came from McNeese State, where Will was. So, if there are enough big money boosters who say, you know what, we'll donate if you get Will Wade, they might do it. But again, that's a $10 million they got to come up with. And it seems like these days, we kept thinking with Lane, like, well, he can't go get another player at this point. My God. The lineman he got late in Colorado.
That Seton guy's unbelievable, Andy.
Yeah, it's like, I just went and got him. Okay.
He's on. What a flex, man. I mean, what are you kidding? Hey, Higgs, on the way out, tell the living listener where they can find you. And I think we talked about 5% basketball. I think I did my job.
Yeah, you did your job. ShreveportBossierJournal.com. You can find me there. TheRonHiggins.org. Twitter, Ron Higg. Instagram, SEC Ron. So, as John Adams would say, come on, guys. Oh, man. I guess I'll see you.
See you, Higgs. John Adams is such a clown. Matt, do people ask you, like, what John's like? Because people ask me, and I'm like, he's just like he is on the air. I mean, he's kind of legendary. He's like 78 years old, man, and he's out there doing it still. And he stays up on it. And after our football games, he'll pop in at like 3 o'clock in the morning, Matt. Isn't that crazy how he'll do that when we're up in the middle of the night? I just wrote my second column.
Yeah,
just wanted to pop back in.
He double dips as a host.
Yeah, just wanted to pop back in. 865-200-5402. Here's the thing about that was fun. We have a lot to talk about. I want to hear from you at 865-200-5402. Is this thing with these coaches now doing this, is this just a part of the NIL era? Like, I'm just going to flush the deck? Are we going to start seeing more of this? Because that last night, I'm going to replay the very beginning. The guy starts out with, hey, I'm a Christian. Basically, I love Christ. And then he says, I hate my basketball team. It's pretty next level. Continue with more on the other side after this. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gufon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gufon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years. 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gufon Moving and Storage are pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gufon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gufon.com. That's Gufon.com. Or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gufon Moving and Storage. Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires. Just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776. Or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Cold weather is here. Is your heating system ready and running efficiently? Don't wait to find out. A simple tune-up now can help prevent costly breakdowns when you need your heat the most. Right now, Pipe Wrench is offering a $79 heating system tune-up to keep your home warm, safe, and worry-free all winter long. Our certified technicians inspect, clean, and fine-tune every part of your heating system for maximum efficiency and comfort, helping you avoid surprise breakdowns and high energy bills. And with Pipe Wrench Home Service's same-day service guarantee, you won't be left out in the cold waiting for help. Your comfort isn't just our job, it's our promise. Schedule your $79 heating system tune-up today at pipewrench.com before winter decides to test your heater. Pipe Wrench Home Services, trusted in Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and neighboring communities for over 20 years. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free. For standard systems only, visit pipewrench.com for details.
TB here with Alan of WeShipFloors.com. Tell them about it, Alan.
Hey, I'm Alan from WeShipFloors.com. Our competition's prices, well, they're going up. Ours are coming down. Our waterproof floor Supercore is the best, and right now it starts at $199 a square foot. Our warehouses are full of 4mm, 6mm, and 8mm. You strapped for cash? Well, we have our own in-house financing. Use our room visualizer and order some free samples today. Supercore from WeShipFloors.com. Best products at best price.
Like Alan said, head over to WeShipFloors.com. Use the room visualizer on the website. Drop in any of the 120 Supercore floors virtually into your room and order your free samples today. WeShipFloors.com. Tennesseans, they are us. The best product, the best price. WeShipFloors.com. Living Vol fan, when it's time to get ready for 2026 and what's ahead, there's only one place. It's Alumni Hall. The best and largest selection of Tennessee apparel for the whole family. Top brands, Nike, Champion, Columbia, Peter Millar. And check this out. All the basketball stuff that the Tennessee basketball fan could ever need. Some great Tennessee baseball stuff as well. Any season, any reason. Alumni Hall, 3 locations in Knoxville. Also Murfreesboro, Bristol, and now open, of course, in Johnson City. And anytime online, alumnihall.com. Say it loud, say it proud. The ultimate volunteer shopping experience. Alumni Hall. Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the volunteer state by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof, T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right. Drink T3 Vodka and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka. Please drink responsibly.
Bradley's and your Tony Basilio show are a Knoxville tradition. And these days, just like Tony B's show is taken off like a rocket ship, so have my friends at Bradley's. Sure, they still have all the delicious chocolate you're used to, like the chocolate-covered popcorn and the assortment boxes. They're now called Bradley's Gift and Home, and they have so much more than chocolate. Bradley's Gift and Home has all kinds of amazing curated gifts, jewelry, candles, and other for her gift items that will keep you from having to go anywhere else. Guys, trust me, as Basilio would say, Bradley's Gift and Home have taken it to the next level. And remember, Bradley's will have freshly dipped chocolate-covered strawberries in milk and white chocolate at both of their locations, 141 North Peters Road and 138 Biddle Farms Boulevard in Farragut next to Tupelo Honey. Strawberries available February 13th and 14th. See you at Bradley's Bradley's Gift and Home. See our website, shopbradleys.com.
TB back with you, 865-200-5402. He said he wished he'd have known that. See, it's a small world. I got my man Chris Campbell with me in studio. He's getting ready to go out on tour. We were just talking during the break. He's in the concert industry. He's getting ready to go out on tour with AC/DC. Hey, Chris, put the headphones on real quick. People will find this interesting. I wasn't planning on doing this with you, but who all have you been around the world with in the concert deal? Put the headphone up. Look, put it right here. Be like Mark Griffin. There you go.
Can you hear me good?
Now project. I need you to project. Remember what Griff said. Project. Who all have you been out with?
Around the world or
just wherever? Yeah. You did Keith Urban for forever. You
Keith
got to know
Urban,
him.
Justin Bieber.
Okay.
Ariana Grande.
Okay.
Lizzo.
Foo
Fighters.
Right.
Stevie Wonder.
Ooh, yeah, that was a really cool one. You went all over the world with him, right?
Just in the States.
Okay.
Nas.
Okay.
Jonas Brothers.
Okay.
Zach Bryan, last 2 years.
Zach Bryan. So he's getting ready to go out with AC/DC. And where are y'all going? We were talking about this during the timeout.
Starting in Brazil, then going to Chile, and then Argentina, and then Mexico City.
Rough life, Bri. That's rough life right there. Rough life.
But I'll be listening to the show.
The AC/DC guys, have you ever done Bonnaroo? Somebody's asking.
No.
What's your favorite concert venue you've seen? Anywhere in the world. What's the best one?
I do like the Gorge.
Where is
Washington, where it just goes over the mountain. You just look down. It goes straight down.
Is that an amphitheater?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I'm curious. Why haven't you done Bonnaroo?
I never, for whatever reason, never worked out.
Pretty next level, man. So Chris is a guy that went to Halls High School, and we met each other. You came to do tell the story, how you met me.
To do an interview for you?
You were in
some project.
What were you, like a senior in high school?
Yeah.
And he came up to me and he goes, Mr. Basilio. He was real soft talking, because he's kind of soft talking now. Mr. Basilio. And now he goes all over the world. And did you want to do this at one time?
Yeah, that's why the interview was for a project of what you would like to do and interview somebody.
How long ago was that? 30 years?
1997, I think.
Damn. And nobody getting younger over here. And how was I toward you when you were a high school kid?
Great.
A couple years later, Brian, I took him to Philly with me. I just kind of adopted him. I've known CC for forever.
We went to the game where I think it was Rick Pitino's debut, maybe.
That's exactly right. You got a great memory. In Philly, that's exactly right.
I only can remember some things.
That's wild. I have seen a game in that and that was when that arena was new.
Yeah, I found the cup the other day.
Wow.
My grandparents.
So.
And then when I worked with Bill Gaither, he used to be a huge Pacers fan, so he had 12 tickets, and I got to see Isaiah Thomas when he coached his debut, and then Larry Bird was sitting over next to him.
Tell the listeners about how many of these musical guys love sports and how many of the sports guys, because Chris gotten to know a lot of basketball and football coaches. He knows a ton of these people. In fact, he's a source of information for me. I can tell you that. He hears stuff because he talks to head coaches all the time. It's funny. Those guys love music, don't they?
And they love free tickets.
And so that's kind of your gizmic, right? You get to know these guys, but the free tickets and...
They love access.
And you walk backstage.
Blake Shelton's a big sports fan.
Yeah.
His band, very big sports fans. So I appreciate that. And Zach Bryan.
You were telling me a story about walking somebody backstage. Who was it?
Which one?
Oh, Vitello.
Vitello.
Tell the story about that, because he's not here. Who cares?
It was great, though. It was the week after he won the World Series.
Okay. Speak up for me,
Zach
CC.
Bryan
Come on.
show
Project. There you go.
In Nashville. And just walking
Zach
around.
Bryan.
It was like a rock star. Everybody was running up to him. Girls, guys, wanting their picture, wanting to touch him and hug him. It was weird.
Right. And where'd he want to go? Listen to this, Matt.
He wanted to get on stage and perform at the end. They bring people up. So
Tony's shy, Matt. Favorite musician of all the ones you've had a chance to like what was Stevie Wonder like? Were you ever around him?
Yeah, he was nice, but that was probably the one I was going to use because he would do just get out there and play around in the afternoon. They'd rehearse, but he would go through a lot of stuff and just playing a lot of songs and just doing his own thing.
You're sitting there with your own private concert for Stevie Wonder?
That one, and then Joe Walsh one time when the Eagles had a they sent everybody away, but I was still working.
Yeah.
And he was just playing guitar, jamming out, and I was just sitting there kind of acting like I was still working, obviously. But yeah, Stevie Wonder was great.
Matt,
and Keith
Dixon,
Urban.
Dixon, can you imagine those guys like at sound check? Because you got to lock in on these concerts. It is a full deal, and Chris has his part to play, and they all have their part to play. But can you imagine sitting there and Stevie Wonder's just kind of going through his catalog? Because you told me about him. He wasn't playing the same songs every night. Like a lot of these people, that show is set to a click track, and they play basically the same show. Does it get boring watching the same show every night?
Yes.
Yes.
After
a while, you can't hear the music, right?
No, I just start thinking about sports or Tennessee basketball or football as I'm working, just zone out. Sometimes I've had your post game in one ear. I hide
while
it.
The show's going on.
Yeah, while the show's going on and just doing my thing.
You imagine that, Matt? You're taking precedence.
Yeah, I'm hearing
what Matt's taking over when the Foo Fighters are out there.
Well, not Foo Fighters, more like Jonas Brothers.
Oh, I got that.
Foo Fighters, no, I gotta stay on point. They change stuff up.
Oh, really?
They're good too.
So the Foo Fighters, who was a couple artists you work with that stayed right with that click, stayed right on the set list?
Ariana Grande,
right? That does not surprise me. All the dancing stuff,
yeah,
Bieber, all the dancing stuff.
Beyonce, I had to do a
makes
thing
sense
for her
because it's all programmed.
You have to, yeah.
It's all programmed
at that point.
Yeah. Well, have fun, brother. You going to go meet Griff?
Yeah.
All right, you're my man. Matt, hey, Bri, let me do a legal here, quick legal. Because something came up last night. Nega Dave's still bringing it up, and I want to laugh about this because Nega Dave's off his meds.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
All right, here we go. All right, so thank you, brother. Good seeing you. Your boy Weston Hayes, after that whole interview of all the people that he rattled off, Bri, what a miserable guy he is, says Lizzo, he admits that, Lizzo. Yeah, the guy's like making a living, dude. Yeah, he's like feeding his family. You clown. How about this Easton
Don't
Hayes?
listen to Easton from Austin. Come on
How
now.
about this Easton Hayes guy? I mean, what a clown. So last night, Nega Dave calls in, and his take on the game is that Jacoby Gillespie's shaving points, got to be shaving points, after watching last night's game. And I got to give Nega Dave credit, because Nega Dave is who he is, and he's consistent, and he's nuts. He told me at his father's receiving of friends, my friends call me Crazy Dave or Psycho Dave, or I forget what he says. I'm not good with the details, but it was something in that vein. And I'm going, gee, I wonder why. And then Bino tells me a story about how he did something in a game and threw his bat on the ground, and it came back up and popped him up in the nose and broke his nose. And maybe did something to his brain, because Brian, share with us where we are here with last night he calls in Tiniest Dave. I'm convinced. That Gillespie he's shaving points. I said, excuse me? I'm convinced. And I was talking to Brian about that during the break. And Brian, what'd you tell me? This is an interesting little thing here.
Someone who has called the show in the past texted me and said that a couple of times this year, in the last couple of weeks, they think Gillespie is on the take. They've come to the same conclusion Nega Dave has.
Here's my favorite thing about the Gillespie guy. He looks like just the way they play, just the whole deal. He's a maddening basketball player. And I could see how somebody could come to that conclusion, even though it's not true. But he just does such uninstinctive things in games, Matt. He just does. He just does.
Yeah, it's fair. And they come at the critical times, too, which is really odd. And, like all his numbers are great. And, I don't remember this being an issue when he was at Maryland, last year. And, I mean, the guy's played for winning, teams and has just kind of been a winner. But he's, not made winning plays in clutch time this year, which it's just odd. I don't think he's just kind of a natural point guard. And I think that he just has a lot on his plate and he's trying to do a little too much at times, which leads to a lot of that. But it's funny because, like Dave last night, and we joked around with him, like Barnes even made that comment, like completely joking in one of the post games a game or two ago.
Yes.
About how he stands over there and he said it. Sometimes I think some of the guys are throwing games, and then he quickly realized that even though I'm joking, I really shouldn't have said that. But it's maddening to him too. It's just a really odd deal that it happens. But the problem is when he's off the court for extended times.
Yeah.
Tennessee goes possessions where they don't even get a shot off offensively. Like he's so important to the team, despite all the flaws and all the kind of maddening plays.
DC Coltrane reminded me, exactly what you're talking about. Which is didn't Barnes, jokingly say something like that? The truth about Gillespie is he's a lot like this basketball team, extremely erratic. This is an erratic basketball team. They can do some incredibly great stuff, right? They can do some, in the span of one basketball game, like last night, they can look like a Final Four team. And then a team that won't get out of the first round if they're a 5 seed. A team that could get beaten by a 12 seed. Depending on the 4 minutes you watch, I'm not so sure, though, that most of college basketball, like Lee was saying last night, which is a great point, most of college basketball, I'm not so sure that most teams aren't like that right now in this era we're living in. And we were talking about we're living in an era right now where the type of play that we're seeing is driving everybody crazy. And it's driving coaches to say things into microphones that they ought not be saying. Brian, what I forgot to mention about the Tang guy last night is they got blown out by Ewad's Cincinnati Bearcats. And I got to give Matt some love here. When they hired Wes Miller, and I don't know what Matt, I said that Matt had some wood for the guy because Matt hated him from the very beginning. What did you call Matt? You had even had a little nickname for him. You hated the guy. You called it, Matt. You said that guy will be terrible there. You had mentioned him one time being a possible candidate at Tennessee at some point, and I said he's Buzz Peterson without the famous roommate. Like the guy, because I remember watching. I guess he was at Asheville or Greensboro, and he just never could get into the tournament. Like he just always would, find a way to choke games away that he shouldn't. So I never thought of him highly as a potential Tennessee coach. So yeah, that guy, and he's got the North Carolina, pass. So he gets he's kind of in the club, so to speak. Eric Wadell said the following just now. By the way, it was a 91-62 game last night with Kansas State where this guy just totally lost his junk. Jerome Tang. Brian, did you ever drink Tang back in the day?
His foot.
Did you ever drink Tang?
I'm trying to remember what Tang is. It's some kind of orange, like a fake orange juice or something, right?
It's an orange drink. Apparently, they had it when they went to the moon. I always heard a wives' tale. They had Tang with them. Matt, did you ever have Tang back in the day?
Yeah, I remember having it a few times. I think was it like a powder thing?
It was a powder thing.
I'm not sure Kool-Aid. It was ever actually in like a bottle or can.
No, it was a powder thing. It was a powder thing.
Like Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid.
Yeah, it's like an orange Kool-Aid type deal.
Yeah. I love Tang. I used to take it in a teaspoon and just put it in my mouth. But I also used to eat cocoa like that when I was a kid. I would take the cocoa and put it in my mouth. And anyway, I don't think that's really good for your respiratory system to be breathing in those powders. At any rate, this is what Eric Wadell just put in our group chat, and I'm going to share it with you because he's a member of the program, and I'm going to put it before the audience for a vote. We haven't gone to this extent, but hey, slow times call for slow measures. I usually stay out of commentating. No, I usually stay out of commenting on your basketball postgame show. You all do a great job. But when that caller Dave said something about a kid and accused him of something like that with no evidence, frankly, I would have sent him to the showers. And even though he's a good caller and amusing, I would also give him a little time away from the show. Take that for what it's worth. Now let me ask the audience this. Should Nega Dave have to serve a suspension for what he said last night? Should we put his call to Commissioner Bockwinkel too and send it up the food chain to see if, in fact, he should get suspended for what he said? 865-200-5402. Should Nega Dave get suspended? And, Brian, what did you make of your Oak Ridge boy who was not singing Elvira, but he launched on your Oak Ridge boy, Bri? What did you make of Ron Higgins just when I said to him, I don't want to talk basketball, and then he launched on Mac McMahon, Bri? On him.
Without being prompted. Just went scorched
launched
earth.
On him.
Launched on him. Scorched earth on him.
Launched on him.
And it's almost as if he was expecting him to be set up for success, but he was not. They sort of brought him in there as they sort of sacrificed their men's basketball program to be good in baseball and women's and football. If basketball men's wise isn't good, it sounds like they sort of made an unserious hire.
Matt,
knowing that he would not have much success. And I guess he coached John Morant, so I think that's sort of, you just have to wonder if he didn't coach John Morant, where would he be right now?
Now you're cutting a promo on the guy.
I'm just asking the question.
Hey, Matt Dixon, in your humble opinion, Nega Dave right now, should that get kicked up, or should we just let it go as a call in frustration and he really didn't mean it? Since Brian had a friend say the same thing, since Rick Barnes had a friend say the same thing, or since Rick Barnes said the same thing.
It was a good Nega Dave call. Obviously just takes it to the extreme, but he's got the frustrations that obviously Rick Barnes does too. So no, it's not suspension worthy, but it's, within the context of who Dave is and what his calls are, he can get away with it, kind of like Barnes.
Brian, you've produced this show for years and years and years. You're really kind of responsible for it for the last 25 years. Everything that comes out of my mouth is your responsibility. Bri, what do you have to say about what Nega Dave did last night? And I'm asking the living listener right now. You're going to decide Nega Dave's fate at 865-200-5402. Should Nega Dave last night, who came on here last night and he is a takesman. Nega Dave's a takesman. And look, sometimes when you're a takesman, you can burn your takes, Like there's some stakesmen out there. You know what I'm talking about. Sometimes that charcoal's a little too hot, or you'll walk away from the smoker and forget it's there, whatever. But Dave came in with some hot fire last night, and his take was awful. Awful.
Well,
awful.
I think that I've always sometimes wondered about when I watch games and I see things that look a little bit fishy if some of the players are on the take. So I don't think he really deserves a suspension. He's probably just wondering there's things that make you wonder. And I think that's a long way from an accusation. I don't think that's the same thing.
Back to the phone set. It's Dave's time. If Dave gets suspended, he needs to hire Marcos Garza and fight this. Look, here's the deal. I'm not in charge of this. I'm not in charge of this. This will ultimately, if you guys decide that we need to kick it up a level, it gets kicked up a level. It gets kicked up above my head. I don't. Because here's the thing. I can't.
You're kind of the Greg Sankey of the deal.
Exactly. I can weigh in on it. I can send a letter. But I can't make the decision because I like mayhem. If left to my own devices, I mean, we would push the envelope as far as possible. That's why we need a commissioner. I've needed a commissioner for years to keep the thing in line. So people brought this up, and, some people have this really warped view of what we're doing right now in college sports. And no offense, but there's a guy in here, let's say, called the Coastal Vol. Gillespie gets paid to play. He's a Tennessee celebrity. Celebrities aren't protected from defamation. Dave can say what he wants. Coastal Vol, that's totally different than what you can say on here. I get that. But now we're having a different discussion. Just because the guy is a celebrity doesn't mean you can go out and accuse him of shaving points in a basketball game. Come on now. That's asinine. And then Brian tells me, and the reason I wanted to bring it up is other people are obviously not thinking it. That's not the point, because the guy is kind of a maddening player to watch. But other people, when Brian says, well, one of my friends kind of said the same thing, it's just, this team is just odd. It's just they're erratic. I mean, they're so erratic. And erratic.
But again, the sport as a whole is more erratic and inconsistent this year than I think it's ever been.
Yes.
Obviously, the roster turnover plays a big part of that. But it is odd to see teams just go up and down as much as they do. I mean, Tennessee is a great example of it. And maybe one of the more prominent examples of it, and they do it often. But it's the sports like that just as a whole. There's a whole lot of games where you can watch where, in just different 10-minute stretches, it looks like two totally different games.
But that 18-0 run thing that David Ackworth asked about earlier is a great question. Have we ever had an 18-0 run where what? Where you have an 18-0 run and you win comfortably. Still win. By multiple possessions at the end of a game. How many times do you think that's happened? I mean, an 18-0 run.
I've seen teams make big comebacks, but just are unable to get completely over the top because they sort of eventually they exhaust so much energy they just hit a wall, and the other team puts them back down again and wins the game.
I'm putting out an APB for Eric Wadell to get on the show. I want him to explain himself. Because my friends at Bradley's and your Basilio show, look, tomorrow they got the chocolate-covered strawberries beginning on the 13th and 14th. Tomorrow and Saturday, ladies and gentlemen, 141 North Peters Road, 138 Biddle Farms Boulevard in Farragut. And I want to know if you think Nega Dave should be suspended, why or why not. To my favorite couple of answers, I'm going to send you some Bradley's chocolate. Put you on the list. You get to go out there and be a superhero tomorrow or Saturday. JLNWFT says it's a free country last time I checked. Sure it is. And I'm free to suspend the guy if that's what Commissioner Bockwinkel deems. Sure it is. Sure it is. Eric Waddell, I'd like you to get in the mix and in the hunt with us. You've been summoned to the bandstand. Bradley's calls themselves Bradley's Gift and Home now. For years and years, I call them Bradley's Chocolate. I still call them Bradley's Chocolate. When I go by there, Joy's like, Tony, what's our name? I have to look at the sign. Bradley's Gift and Home, Joy. Hey, old habits die hard. You know what I mean? Old habits die hard. They've got all kinds of great gifts, though. Amazing curated gifts, jewelry, candles, and other for her gift items that will keep you from having to go anywhere else. ShopBradleys.com. Bri, were you watching the curling this morning? Because I was in the Olympiad. And are you going to watch USA in hockey this afternoon, Bri? Yes or no?
I was not, and I do not have any plans to.
What have you done, Bri? You've lost your JOMO for hockey?
What's the story of the 54-year-old, Tone?
54-year-old what?
Was that curl? That was curling, right?
Huh?
Wasn't there like some 54-year-old American that they put into I thought it was curling. He's like the oldest Olympian that's ever competed.
I didn't catch that because Schuster got beat. Schuster got upset, and he's been the USA captain for years and years and years, and he got upset in the Olympic trials, which was a huge upset. But curling is a great sport for those of you, and I'm not kidding. If you learn the strategy to it and the physics involved in it, it's a really, really fun to watch. Once you dig into the nooks and crannies and the nuances of it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, you can go claim your VIP Play Welcome bonus right now. There's all kinds of Olympic stuff there for you to get involved with. Brian, will they have a number on the Lady Vol game tonight? There. They will have action. They are taking action on Tennessee baseball this year, so you'll be able to do that.
I've never seen women's basketball lines on there.
Oh, yeah, it's on there.
It's usually I can't find it.
Oh, yeah,
and it's usually there. I have to go to ESPN.com
to
get the line for women's games. Bet
$20, get $100 in bonus bets instantly. Promo code phrase that pays is TN Tony. VIP, remember last year they were the first to release all 12 Tennessee games, advanced lines in football. I'm sure they'll be doing that again this year because they try harder. That's why everybody gets treated like a VIP over at VIP Play. They're live always with 200-plus leagues, numerous bet types, props, options. If you have a bet in mind, the VIP Play team will get it to you. We'll make it happen if it's compliant and a bet type in the state of Tennessee. Everybody gets treated like a VIP over at VIP Play. If you have a gambling problem, 800-889-9789. 21 and over, located in the great state of Tennessee to place a bet. Where is Eric Wadell? Ewad, get in with us, man. Come on. Come on, E. Bri, tell Lee to get in the mix and in the hunt with us. I want to talk to him about this. Because he kind of pissed at Nega Dave. Matt sort of takes Nega Dave for who he is, which is like a loud gonging cymbal. Almost like, Matt, you kind of take Nega Dave, and I'm not Dave, I'm really not ripping you when I say this, but you're almost like Matt looks at you like a village idiot almost. Would that be accurate, Matt?
No, that's not accurate. I think Dave's takes, they're to the extreme,
right?
But I understand where he comes from of most of them, and I agree to an extent on a lot of them as well. He just goes way overboard. I mean, he wanted Barnes fired after the Kentucky game. Like he came on here yelling about he wanted Barnes fired.
Let's go, Negative.
That's what his calls are.
Let's go.
He's probably not the only one.
All right, here's a question. Should Dave face suspension for what he's done? For what he's done. And Dave, Matt sort of looks at you like a village idiot. I think you're like a crazy uncle in our show. I find you to be. I find you to be. I'll tell you what I find you to be is kind of fascinating and a little bit thought provoking. Because when I met you, I realized something. You're not a bit. He's not doing 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 a bit. Oh, man. All right, let's go to the phones. Matt, the Trinidad Chambliss thing, tell me about that. And then we got some point guard rankings.
Well, they're having some kind of, I guess, they're in court and somewhere in Mississippi today. So,
I mean, what are we doing? And then tomorrow we're going to have the hearing on Aguilar. We haven't heard if Commissioner Sankey's chiming in on that. What do you guys think? Do you think Commissioner Sankey sends a letter? Or do you think he stays out of it, Matt? Like he did in the Bediako deal?
No, he'll stay totally out of this.
I wonder why.
The Bediako deal was a lot more cut and dry and just absurd. I mean, even he took a stance against Bediako in Alabama on that one. I mean, this
Aguilar
one
never actually went pro.
Yeah, these guys were just wanting to stay in college. They haven't, gone anywhere.
Kind of amazing here what we've got going on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, calls, stay there. TB here for Cedar Bluff Plumbing, a live and local company that's been serving our area for over 32 years and counting because every customer counts, and I mean no job is too small. Cedar Bluff Plumbing just voted #1 by City View magazine because multiple plumbing experts are on call to serve all your plumbing needs. Chances are there'll be a plumber in your area when you call, and they won't send some salesman to your house. You're going to get a high character, trustworthy, highly trained plumber who will serve you, not like some of these guys that look like they came off the set of America's Most Wanted. Cedar Bluff Plumbing is Basilio tested and approved and will go the extra mile for you because Chucky Mack is a servant of the people and my consigliere to the throne, celebrating over 32 years of serving living volunteers. Cedar Bluff Plumbing. Call 588-4448. That's 588-4448. Cedar Bluff Plumbing.
Fan Run Radio, where Big Orange Country comes to talk sports. Start your morning off with your daily dose of talk sports with John Reed and Cody McClure from 8 to 11. Then it's Tony Basilio from 11 to 1. The Playbook with William Pattison from 1 to 3. And The Drive from 3 to 6. It's 10 hours of hard-hitting local sports radio every day.
Basilio here for Budget Transmissions. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, took his Ford Escape to budget, and like our gold bullet back in the day, it was a total mess. And now, Matt's back in the game. He's got a new transmission, axle, wheel bearing, both radiator hoses, engine mounts, coolant hoses. I mean, his Ford Escape was about to escape to the junkyard, but he didn't begrudge it. He took it to budget, and now he's on his way back to Omaha. Budget Transmissions, over 30 years in business, conveniently located in Bearden. All extended service contracts are honored. A gold certified Repair Pal member. 865-584-4391. 865-584-4391. Budget Transmissions. Don't begrudge it. Take it to budget.
Slow drains, gurgling, and bad odors may seem minor, but left unattended, they can turn into a plumbing emergency fast. Don't let a clogged drain become a disaster. Keep things moving smoothly with Pipe Wrench's $99 drain clearing, guaranteed to work, or it's free. Our certified plumbers arrive prepared with the tools and expertise to clear even the most stubborn clogged drains. And with our same-day service guarantee, you get fast relief without the inconvenience of waiting. Have more than just a clogged drain? We also offer free on-site estimates and free second opinions on repairs. Your comfort isn't just our job, it's our promise. Schedule your $99 drain clearing online today at PipeWrench.com. If we can't clear it, you don't pay. Pipe Wrench Home Services, trusted in Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and neighboring communities for over 20 years. Same-day service guaranteed, or the visit is free. For residential main lines only, requires clean-out access. Visit PipeWrench.com for details.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a 2-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dos with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Chilio here, and my friends at Carnes Motor Company started with a dream over a quarter century ago. I met Rob and Brian back when I still had hair, and they were working at a huge dealership in West Knoxville. But they told me back then they wanted to sell cars on their terms, and I wanted to do radio on my terms. Their terms, just like my terms, are ultimately your terms. In both cases, you're the winner. A Car Guru's National Award winner with a 5-star rating on all sites, just like our Vols. Everything about buying a car from Carnes Motor Company is no hassle. They specialize in high-quality pre-owned vehicles between the $5,000 to $25,000 range. And if you need to sell a car, they'll either buy your car or they'll help you sell it. Carnes Motor Company also has a top-notch service department. Therefore, every vehicle is rigorously inspected and serviced prior to delivery. So you're guaranteed to get a quality pre-owned vehicle every time. If you need a place for service, they've got you covered. Come be a part of the Carnes Motor Company family and tell them you heard about it from me. Online at carnesmotor.com, Oak Ridge Highway, 1 mile past the Carnes light. Carnes Motor Company. Basilio here reminding you that when you want to sell your extra tickets to the game, you don't want to give your life away online with all your personal information just because you want to sell a few extra tickets. Clark Moore at Select Ticket Service will gladly buy your extra game tickets and your extra parking passes. And the best part? Clarky Boy pays cash. 865-919-1016. 865-919-1016. Clarky Boy pays cash at Select Ticket Service. Clarky Boy pays cash. Keep TB back with you. All hell's breaking loose here on the Basilio Show. Eric Wadell's now here to, I don't know. He wants a pelt. This is not like Eric Wadell to get in the middle of things. Those of you that know Eric Wadell, he works for the AP during football season. He works for various outlets and jumps on with us on our Garza Law Tennessee fifth quarter fan reaction. He's been a stalwart with us all these years. We've been in the highways and byways. We've seen fire and we've seen rain, brother, in this program. But here we are, Eric.
Absolutely.
How fired up, focused, and prepared are you right now to talk?
I'm fired up and ready to go, brother.
Tell me about this Nega Dave character and why you want him eradicated from the earth.
First, I do want to say I like Nega Dave. I appreciate his commentary, and it's one of the reasons people I know tune in. He's become a part of the show in that way that he turned in. The people turn in to see him. So I don't want to make this sound like it's personal or I think that he's a terrible caller or anything at all like that. But I think if you make and what makes this a little bit different is you're attacking a man's character when you talk about him point shaving.
Yep. And
you don't offer any evidence. That's the difference to me in this particular comment. It'd be one thing if he said Gillespie, or I believe that's who he was talking about, sucks. He doesn't play well. He doesn't do XYZ well. But when you, I feel like in that case, you're attacking his character. And that to me brings it to a different level. And I think, frankly, that's inappropriate. Unless you have evidence to show why you're making the accusation.
Panel?
I'm sorry?
Is it a, what if someone is just kind of wondering, they're not saying for sure, they're just kind of wondering, is that make a difference?
Well,
it would make a difference.
Yeah.
And why it would make a difference is, but that's not how I took his comment.
No, he was like,
it sounded to me, it sounded like an accusation.
I agree with that. It was very accusatory.
I wonder if he, like Barnes, I thought was kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, I knew he was kidding.
Dave's in the chat right now, very unrepentant. It said, my evidence was my eyes. My evidence is in my eyes, he said.
Okay. That's not evidence.
No. That's not evidence. That's a guy, as we say in Italia, that's a guy being a stunod.
And you know what?
A stunod, I say.
I'm certainly not saying that either.
Well, I call it a stunod.
I'm sorry.
Great Eric Wadell's in here. He's chiming in. He's putting his money where his mouth is. You know, Matt, he's got a good point when you think about what Eric's saying. I mean, that's a very, very, very much an accusation. Saying that Gillespie
it is,
be
but
pitching for the Cleveland Indians.
It's an emotional post-game deal. Dave's always emotional. Literally wanted Barnes fired after the Kentucky game, the previous game.
Yes.
So I get where Ewad's coming from, and
yes.
I'm actually surprised that what Barnes said, even though it was obvious he was joking, and he immediately kind of regretted saying it.
Yes.
Like, there's not many coaches that could have gotten away with saying that and it not at least become some kind of story somewhere from somebody. I guess Vandy Dano's out there covering the Olympics, so he couldn't, write one of his.
Too busy doing shuffleboard, right? I'm sure he's writing shuffleboard.
He couldn't write one of his holier than thou pieces.
Who in the hell watches
the fact that
shuffleboard?
Barnes said something similar was really odd to me, but.
And Dave says, by the way, Barnes wasn't kidding when he said it. That's what Dave's accusation is.
Yeah, because the mistakes drive Barnes crazy just like they do Dave. Like Barnes is frustrated as hell with them too. But obviously he's not point shaving. I mean, that's just a ridiculous thing to think that there's any truth there. But it's frustrating to watch.
Dave also says sometimes it just doesn't come out right. What he's trying to say, Ewad. What do you say to that?
And I totally get that. Believe me, you and I, and me not as much as you, but we've been on the air long enough that we say stuff that we wish we could pull back. And again, Dave, I'm for you, not against you. I just that one kind of took me the wrong way.
Would you agree that Dave is almost a village idiot of this show?
I think I've dogpiled on him enough already. I'll let you rate him.
Dave, should we kick this up? Should we create a ticket and kick it up to Commissioner Bockwinkel for his review? And that's the question. Should we create a ticket here for an action ticket for Commissioner Bockwinkel? That's how we do things here. Hello and welcome into our next call. You're on the air.
Hi, Tony?
Yes.
This is Brian. How you doing?
Brian, welcome in.
I would vote in favor of Nega Dave, whatever his name is, of staying on.
Really?
For one reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he should have a stand-up routine. He's very humorous with the things he says, So, and for no other reason than that, I think he should stay on because he does provide comedy for the show.
So
don't you think most people laugh at what he says?
So you don't think people take that seriously when he said that?
Not at all.
So it's a context of like humor, right?
I think he's doing it tongue in cheek sometimes. So that's just my opinion.
Let's go, man.
Well, now the other thing, I don't know enough about curling.
Yes.
And I should really start watching it.
It's a great sport.
But I would have to ask you or debate.
Yep.
Do you think it's really a sport or is it a skill like pool or billiards bowling?
Is golf a sport or a skill?
Well, I think that one's a combination.
Yeah.
But now
this one's a combination. This one here, you got to fly down the ice. If you watch it, you got to fly down the ice.
But I don't know that much about it.
But you got to be a great sweeper. You got one skate, and then you got one shoe that has traction on the ice. I
wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, and they maneuver the way they spin those stones when they're curling. They turn them one way or the other, so they have action on them. And you have to sweep. You have to understand how to manipulate the ice and the surface in front of you. You have to sweep. You have to sweep. And when you do it, and you do it well, like you're one of the best in the world. It's incredible to watch these people manipulate the time and the space and how fast they throw the stone and then the physics of where to hit it and where not. It's an incredible sport when you watch it.
Well, I'll have to start paying attention to it. But, it must be catching on because they have a place here in Nashville that just opened up.
What? I'm going to come down there and do it. Are you kidding?
No, they're advertising it on one of your competitors where you can come and learn for 30 minutes and you only pay $25.
What? I don't have competitor. Hey, can you sing me After the Lovin' or something real quick in honor of Nega Dave and Rick Barnes?
How about The Portrait of My Love? How about that?
Whatever comes to your mind in honor of Nega Dave. This is a portrait of my love.
And this is in honor of Dave.
From me to the village idiot of the show. Go ahead.
All right. There could never be another love for me. How about that?
Well, sing it a little bit. That was good.
Oh, I don't know that much of it.
Give me a little my way in honor of Dave, because Dave does it his way. Dave does it his way. Give me a little my way.
All right. You must have got that video I sent you.
Oh, you can sing your ass off, dude. Go ahead. You can sing it good, as John Oates once said.
Well, let's see. How's it go? I did it my way.
Thank you, Brian. Nega Dave, your way.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it was very good. And Nega Dave, your way is not the best way. Your way is a clown show way. Hello and welcome into our next call. You're on the air.
What's up, Tone Broke? It's Pat.
Hey, Pat, welcome in.
I'm glad you brought up Commissioner Bockwinkel because I want to keep this in the pro wrestling kind of mode.
Yes.
Because Dave, he definitely gives you a lot to talk about. You get some mileage out of him. You can do a 60-minute Broadway with him, right? He can draw heat with the best of them.
No question. Now, the question is, you being an old-school wrestling fan, is it cheap heat or is it real heat that Dave draws?
My friend, it is neither. It is go-away heat because I don't want to hear it. If I wanted to hear bad takes, I'd go put Eric Ainge on.
Oh, we have go-home heat with Eric Ainge. I like that.
I got a lot of heat with a lot of idiots,
fan.
And those are two of the big ones.
This guy's an old-school wrestling fan because go-home heat means when I used to see Hulk Hogan on the TV when he first showed up on TNA and he ruined their product, I turned the channel. That's called go-home heat. That's a worse kind of heat.
And that's what I've got with Nega Dave. The thing about it is he's just borderline getting suspended. The Cattleman, you can't even say his name anymore.
No, he can't even get a breath in.
So I want to see Dave tag team with the Cattleman in 6 feet under, unless he wants to do the time-honored tradition and he wants to put someone over. I want to hear him call in, and I want to hear him put Rick Barnes over for about 3 minutes uninterrupted. And if he can do that, no suspension. But he is a jobber, though.
Nega Dave, thank you. It's a great call by you. Nega Dave, you are a jobber. You don't know you are, but you are, and we'll come back on the other side. And I think Matt pegged him properly, though. And Eric said it, too. The guy's kind of the village idiot of the show after this.
It's the hottest postgame show on the planet. Garza Law. Fifth quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio show, 10% off your first job. Let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm gonna hop online and I'm gonna get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
When a dangerous, overgrown, or storm-damaged tree is threatening your home, your car, or your family, don't risk it. Call ECR Total Landscapes, your local tree-cutting experts. From precision tree removal and trimming to emergency storm cleanup, ECR Total Landscapes has the equipment and the experience to get the job done safely and efficiently. Call today to set up your free estimate, 865-384-2012, or just go online to ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama Zizi approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and Zizi.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols!
Newsflash, Basilio listeners, the spring real estate market just moved up. Yes, it's chilly outside and you're still in your puffy coat, but if you need to sell your East Tennessee property, you could be the hottest house on the block. Hi there. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. February is the sweetheart month of real estate, and savvy sellers know exactly what that means. Get ahead of the game and give me a call at 865-694-5904 or reach out at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols!
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
VIP Play coming soon. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 plus and located in Tennessee to bet.
Achillio here, and you know my friends at Carnes Motor Company started with a dream over a quarter century ago. I met Rob and Brian back when I still had hair, and they were working at a huge dealership in West Knoxville. But they told me back then they wanted to sell cars on their terms, and I wanted to do radio on my terms. Their terms, just like my terms, are ultimately your terms. In both cases, you're the winner. A Car Guru's National Award winner with a 5-star rating on all sites, just like our Vols. Everything about buying a car from Carnes Motor Company is no hassle. They specialize in high-quality pre-owned vehicles between the $5,000 to $25,000 range. And if you need to sell a car, they'll either buy your car or they'll help you sell it. Carnes Motor Company also has a top-notch service department. Therefore, every vehicle is rigorously inspected and serviced prior to delivery. So you're guaranteed to get a quality pre-owned vehicle every time. If you need a place for service, they've got you covered. Come be a part of the Carnes Motor Company family and tell them you heard about it from B. Online at carnesmotor.com. Oak Ridge Highway, 1 mile past the Carnes light. Carnes Motor Company. So we got this Nega Dave thing to deal with as I welcome you back. 865-200-5402. And then William Pattison, the playbook's on the way next. Followed by Dubsy and the gang. I mean, we just love you so much, the fan-run family. We love you. I appreciate you. I stand with these guys from morning till night, from pillar to post. Say it loud and say it proud. But they let me have 2 hours here just to be an absolute goof. And I guess comic relief. And every comedy, or dramedy rather, because we can be a dramedy sometimes. A lot of drama in this thing. But every dramedy needs kind of a foil, a stooge, a village idiot. And Nega Dave's a guy, because he called last night on our Garza Law Tennessee basketball overtime show. It was around midnight. And I thought my ears were deceiving me when he said, I think Gillespie's shaving points. I said, Dave, you can't say that. And then he's in our YouTube chat, like tripling down on it. Tripling, not doubling down, tripling down. Now, we were going to have today Ken Palm on the show, but he couldn't do it because he's watching curling. Curling happens to be taking place today. He's got a site called doubletakeout.com. Ken Palm's from Minnesota. Eric, you lived in Minnesota for a while. Tell the listener, before we go back to the phones, how serious these people are about curling there.
Oh, the first time I thought about trying curling, okay, when we were up there, I thought, this was one of these deals where you go to the ice rink, you grab a beer, and, people play as a game. And I had guys get mad at me for having that attitude. They're like, no, this is serious. This is a competition. Angry that I thought, hey, this is some social event. So, and I'm sure there's some people who do it that way somewhere, but apparently, no, they take it incredibly serious. And I have to admit that shocked me. Once I kind of understood the culture of it a little bit, it sort of changed for me. But I did. I assumed it was just something I could try, kind of funsies.
It's an incredible sport. Eric, tell the listener how incredible that sport is, how athletic those people are.
I'm certainly not going to, exaggerate, but you have to be athletic. That whole thing with the broom.
Yep.
It may look a little goofy if you've never seen it, you never done it, but you have to put a lot of cardio into trying to control that stone going down the ice. A lot of cardio.
A lot of cardio.
So, and a lot of cardio. And also you have to think about what you're doing because you're trying to affect an action. Imagine driving a golf ball and then having to steer it.
Back to the phones we go. Matt, do you have a favorite Winter Olympic sport you like watching, or do you just sit the whole thing out?
No, I watch it. I like some of the downhill skiing stuff is really cool.
Nuts.
Especially with the drone footage is kind of incredible.
Yes.
And then I guess it's like the luge or the skeleton where they just go
cool.
like 75 miles an hour. Like, I think that's crazy, and that's kind of fun to watch.
Can you imagine what that would feel like to lay down on a sled with your back, with your feet first, and go flying down a pipe like that, a sheet of ice, and sometimes they'll fly out of that ice. If they miss it, they can fly out of the pipe. I'm telling you right now,
the U.S. bobsled team, and it's a different one, but they didn't even get in the thing the other day.
If you told Lindsey Vonn, okay, you're going to crash, I'm convinced she still would have gotten up there at the gate and gone and done it. Hey, Lindsey, they're going to airlift you off this thing. Don't go. She still would have done it. Is Will Abernathy our leadoff hitter tomorrow? He who will not be named, a.k.a. V.I., a.k.a. Village Idiot, wants to know. Abernathy, will he be our leadoff hitter? Will Abernathy?
Yes, I think Jay Abernathy is your leadoff hitter and starting center fielder. I feel pretty confident in that one.
All right, let's go to the phones. Will he have a good season?
Yes, I think he'll kind of be an all SEC type season this year.
Let's
and then
go.
An all American type next year. I think he's got really, really high upside. I like him a whole lot.
Do you believe that our current head coach will be a better game manager than he who will not be mentioned?
I mean, I'll just say no right now.
I do.
No.
Tony Vitello couldn't manage a game, right, Eric?
Look,
I mean, let's say
I'm
it. Just
excited
say it.
about this baseball season.
Yep, say it, Eric.
But I'm just going to say it. We've lost the best college baseball manager I've ever seen.
Oh, you guys, man. Henry Ford is going to –
Oh, now
I'm going to predict something. We are going to have something called –
drives me nuts.
We're going to have something, a giveaway for the kids mid-season called the Model T, because Henry Ford's going to be on it. He's going to have his own Model T. And see, I just did your work over at UT for you. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air. The question is, what are we going to do about Nega Dave? Do we put an escalation ticket and kick it up to Bockwinkel for his behavior the other night? Hi, you're on the air.
Hey, Tony.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, this is David from Greenville.
Okay, David in Greenville. Welcome in.
I know Jacoby. I know his family.
Thank you.
I've coached him when he was in high school here, when he played football for us. And first of all, excuse me, long-time listener, emailed you a couple of times, first-time caller. But knowing Jacoby and having been his coach, what this Nega Dave character said last night was totally baseless. Do I get aggravated and scream at the television when Jacoby makes an errant pass or something? Yeah. But he has a heart of gold, and unlike Eric, to make a comment like that is attacking the young man's character without knowing him. And whether you suspend him or not, I will turn off the show when he calls in, and then check back when he's when he's off. But
and I hate that he's having a repulsive. I hate that he's repelling you and having a repulsive effect on the program, because I really want the program to be, even when we're disagreeing, sort of a celebration of us. And I would think that Dave would hate that as well. Dave, I want you to kind of think about the fact that this gentleman knows Jacoby, and the fact that our words, can kind of have an impact, can be injurious, right? That's what you're saying, sir.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. He can have his opinion about anything. Anybody can have his or her opinion about anything.
Yep.
But when someone voices a baseless opinion,
I agree,
like he did with regard to Jacoby, that attacks his character, that's totally out of line. And it's that coach-player thing. I had to call him to defend Jacoby, and he's, again, at the risk of redundancy. I yell and scream at the TV at times.
Sure.
And I was going to call in last night, but I was so pissed. I was afraid I would say something that I would have to take back. But
you knew we would deal with it. You knew we would deal with it on here. You know this show. You knew we would deal with it.
Yes, and I appreciate that. But this, and like I say, this, I'm first time caller, and I've been listening for 100 years. But I had to call on behalf of Jacoby and his family to back him up and to let everyone know that Nega Dave's comments were wrong. They were just wrong. And especially attacking a young man's character like that, and all that.
Now, he's not the most instinctive point guard out there. He does some crazy things. I mean, you and I both agree at that, like you're admitting.
Yes.
But that's not. But that's a far cry. And you could say that. You could say, hey, this guy does things that drives me nuts. So I would go, that's pretty fair. This guy does things that other point guards kind of don't do, or doesn't. He doesn't feel it, because really he's really a two guard without a two guard helping him. He's in a really tough spot. Gillespie is on this team. He just is.
Yeah. Yes, and I've heard you and Matt and Brian and your other panel guests say that maybe some of the reasons that Jacoby is making some errant passes or just having an unforced turnover is because he doesn't have just like you said, he's a two guard, but he's having to run the show, and he's having to do double duty in terms of playing the one guard and two guard. And I know that's sort of speaking out both sides of my mouth, but he's having to play two positions at one time.
I totally agree, and I appreciate the call. Eric, that's kind of what you were getting at, isn't it, with what Dave was saying?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, believe me, I value callers like Dave because, and I've never really said this on air to you.
Go ahead.
But one of the reasons I became attracted to you professionally,
right,
is because you are one of the few people, to be blunt, and I don't want to get in trouble with my other friends in the media across town, but will stand up and you will say the critical things that need badly to be said. And you know what? Dave, I think, tries to do that. I just think in this particular case, because it hit on the kid's character, it struck me a little different. If he had said his decision-making process is the worst that I've ever seen out of any guard, that's fine.
Fine.
I may not agree, but that's fine.
Yep.
That was the only thing that crossed the line to me. Like I said, Dave, I'm for you. I ain't against you. But this time, I felt like I had to offer my opinion on it.
Bottom line is, Dave, and I appreciate you enough to talk about you and really make an example out of you, I think, today, because it sounds like a ticket's going to get created. I hate for that to happen. It sounds like it's heading that way, but we'll take this into our third hour. The Playbook with William Pattison's on the way next. We stay here at tclub.team or TonyBasilio.com or wherever you're finding us and continue our conversation.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
So here we are. Last night we were minding our own business doing our post-game show. I was minding my own business today, and Eric Wadell sent a text, and I'll read it to you. And he's on here now. Eric, when's the last time you've been on here, Eric? Been a while, hasn't it? Been a hot minute. I'm sorry, Wad. I got you guys.
Yeah, it has been a minute.
Yeah. He says, Eric says Eric's the sweetest guy in the world. By the way, Eric, what about the guy? I'm going to play this again. The Tang fella. Just exploding last night. Prior to his explosion, the Tang fella said, I'm a Christian. Here you go. Hang on.
Oh, this is after a loss to Cincinnati, right, Ewad?
Yes.
It was.
They got absolutely destroyed by Ewad's Bearcats, 91-62. Just an awful basketball game, right? Because you follow the Bearcats. Describe for the living list or the uninitiated what Cincinnati basketball has become here in recent years under this Miller guy.
I think that the nicest way to say it would be mediocre. That's me being generous.
Right. So Ewad jumps in and says the following, and this is why I invited him on today. And people say, well, you guys are doing a bit, and I'm not doing a bit, because Ewad was not doing a bit when he sent me this. I usually stay out of commenting on your basketball postgame show. You guys do a great job. This is Matt's in here, Brian's in here, Bino's in here. He said, but when that caller Dave called in and said something about a kid accusing him of something like shaving points, when it's going on in the sport, with no evidence. Frankly, Tony, you should have sent the guy to the showers. And even though I think he's a good caller, he needs some time away from the show. And you can take that for what it's worth. Now, Eric, are you sad that you sent that?
Am I sad?
Yeah.
No.
Are you sad like 45 minutes later that you sent that to me?
No, I don't regret it because I'm not going after him personally because I value him. So, but I felt like something needed to be said, to be blunt.
Everybody values a village idiot. This is Jerome Tang on the post game last night. Eric, you've been in the media a long, long time. I want to know what you think of this because this guy lost his ish, as they say in the trade. Here's Jerome Tang, last night post game. I want you to hear this. Hang on, I'm gonna back this thing up, and I want you to hear what this guy says here because he starts with "I'm a follower of Christ," and then he proceeds to just lose it, unlike anything I've ever heard. Here we go. Jerome Tang. The instant breakfast drink, which turned into like a fifth of castor oil, went right down his chute last night.
I'm gonna honor Christ like I always do. Blessed to do this, but this was embarrassing. These dudes do not deserve to wear this uniform. There will be very few of them in it next year. I'm embarrassed for the university. I'm embarrassed for our fans, our student section. It is just ridiculous. We got practice at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, and we will get this thing right. I have no answer, no words. So y'all got two questions. So whoever want to ask two questions, I'll answer them to the best of my ability right now. But right now, I'm pissed, and this is all right. Questions.
So that's up there. Tang is up there with the guy from Notre Dame last year, Matt, where he lost his junk. If you remember that, he totally lost his junk. Eric, what is going on right now in major college sports with these multimillionaire coaches and these millionaire athletes and the fighting and the feuding and the fussing and the Kim and the Caldwell of the whole thing? Talk to me here.
Well, I certainly understand the man's frustration. I don't think that anybody could ever envision. Now, Kansas State is not KU, but a 1-10 in conference Kansas State team is something that's hard to even envision. But to keep in mind, I think Cincinnati was a 2 or a 3 point favorite last night, and they won by about 30. So I can understand the man he's got to be losing his marbles. Because he doesn't have any answers to any of the questions anymore, which probably doesn't speak well for his future. But and I think that, but I've never heard a coach, and you tell me if you have, who got up in front of the press and said, most of these guys aren't going to be here next year.
Never heard that.
I mean.
And then I got practice with him at 5 a.m. This merry band of idiots I can't stand.
So I'm going to kill him at 6 a.m. So
yeah. Hey Matt, if you were on that team, Matt, what would you think about that guy after he said that? I'm just asking.
That's a team that's kind of already quit, and they have no incentive to get back up off the mat. I mean All right. I mean, we talked about Kim Caldwell's comments. This is. That to the extreme.
Which is why I'm playing them.
About not being able to wear the uniform, and
I want to be fair to Kim Caldwell.
That's a whole lot of more than our quit against the best team down 30.
I want to be fair to Kim Caldwell. That's why I'm playing it. That's exactly why I'm playing it. I think it's going to be a new thing in this era, guys. I think the fan to player relationship has never been more tenuous than it is right now, more transactional. But the coach to player and the player to coach relationship has never been more tenuous. Listen, they better get their hands around this unprofessional sports that college basketball and college football is right now. It's not professional sports, it's unprofessional sports. Free agency every 5 minutes is not professional. It's not organized. It's professional pickup sports. And it's going to continue. It's going to continue to occur. It is going to continue to occur.
What a big difference is in pro sports, you can tank and try to build to the future. Like there's nothing you can tank for in college hoops. Like you don't get a higher draft pick or more money to spend in the free, like in the portal the next year if you're so bad. Like there's no way to balance that out. This is an interesting thing I've not thought about when a team and like checks out for a season on a coach. Like what do you do for those final 10, 15 games? Like it's a really odd thing to kind of encounter. Like it's just unfathomable that college sports has kind of got to this point where something like this can happen. And it's probably not the only one. It's just the one we're talking about because the coach's presser went viral.
And I'm a smart guy and I'm a pretty perceptive guy. If you listen to this show, like I'm not your facts and figures guy, but I'm a read the room person and I'm a pretty damn smart person from that perspective. The whole emotional intelligence component. You spend 5 minutes around me, you'll know that. But I'm a dum-dum when it comes to everything else. But I'll tell you this right now. This stuff is going to continue to occur because they've created a system where when it doesn't work for the player throws up his hands and goes, it ain't my problem. It's this person's problem. I'm out of here. That's human nature. And then the coaches are supposed to be the ones buttressing all this. You know what the coaches are saying now? I didn't do it. Now, Kim Caldwell said that Sunday, and it was wrong, and I called her out for it. This guy last night, not only did he say that, he said, these jerks that are in the room back here, I'm running all their asses off here next year. I mean, how in the world do you say that? How in the world do you say that? I mean,
I
and
think
here's the
part
other.
of it, Tony, comes
go ahead.
from,
Go ahead, E.
Yeah, I think part of it has to come from the fact that it used to be, I can't believe I'm going to sound like the old man saying that. It used to be you were in the bunker with these guys for 4 years.
That's exactly right.
Or maybe, or even 5 years.
That's
but
exactly
you're in
right.
there at least 4 years with these guys, and you knew you were in it. And, like, it's like, I think that, I'm not thinking coach doesn't think, I don't have to go. I'm not in the bunker with these guys. So I have no reason not to say I'm going to eject them or eject them.
I give Kim Caldwell a lot of credit because she was encouraged at UT behind the scenes because I told you this yesterday, and I know she was because I talked to people. She was encouraged to kind of walk it back and apologize, and she didn't do it yesterday. She tried to do it, but she didn't do it. And you got to kind of admit, you got to kind of admire her for committing to the bit. It's a very interesting time that we're going to watch here, Matt. And I think it's changed. Matt. When I can flip my roster every year, like for instance, and I don't follow the lady, like tonight's game, I watch the big games. I don't watch the little games. I'm not going to sit there. Laura might have it on tonight, and I might look at it. And if it's interesting, I'll watch it. But I kind of get the sense that this whole, like Eric's talking about, this player, especially in basketball, I kind of get the sense that Lady Vol team will have that Paulo girl and her sister back, and then a bunch of new players next year. I kind of get the sense that's where we're at right now. You know what I mean? And even on the men's side, too, like with a lot of these programs. I think the Tang guy meant it last night, Matt. I don't think that was frustration speaking. And I think she meant it, too, by the way. I'm sick of looking at these people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she can kind of, you can say walk back or whatever, but she just called out her team for quitting in a game. I mean, he talked about his guys not being worthy of the uniform, and he said they're not going to be here next year. Like, it's kind of hard to walk that back.
Absolutely.
Unless you just come out and say I was totally wrong, which I assume he's not going to do because there's probably some truth to what he said. So it's, I don't know. Like Ewad mentioned that, being in the bunker with those guys. And like, I still think even in this transactional era, the great teams and championship winning teams are always going to have those core guys that do it the right way. And maybe they're getting paid, but that like they love their program. They love their teammates. They'll fight for their like the great teams will still have those core guys, even if they're not the star players or best players, because you just have to have that to keep a team together for all the ups and downs of a season.
I don't think it's any coincidence, okay, that Jawan Jennings went to the NFL and is a winner in the NFL who's made winning plays. You can say what you want to say about him, but he spoke for all of us. And I forget what social media platform that was on when he went off. Those of us that saw the video, it was one of the greatest things I've ever seen because it was truly a college athlete that was just kicked out of a practice or whatever and said, man, we're getting ready to get our ass stomped by Vanderbilt, and these guys suck, and the guy at the helm of this thing right now is an idiot, and the coach that recruited me is a total idiot, and I care about this thing more than they do, and I'm going to open this video up, and I'm going to tell you that. And he was one of those
threw him off the team.
And he was one of those winning players. He was one of those winners that Matt's talking about. Because he said, you know what? I'm sick of this. And you can say what you want to say about Jawan Jennings, and the wide receivers are crazy in the modern era, and I get it, and they're divas. But that was some damn next level stuff. Let's go back to the phones. 865-200-5402 if you want to get in the hunt and in the mix with us.
One of the
Go ahead, Brian.
things that Jeremy Pruitt did right was reinstating him immediately on being hired.
Immediately.
He did that without even checking much with anybody.
Yep. You know why? Because Pruitt understood when he was at Alabama, you have winning players. This guy's a winning football player. And my goal here is to win games. And by the way, it's the third time I've congratulated Jeremy Pruitt this week for staying down there at Jacksonville State and honoring his word, because he was going to make 3 times as much money at Maryland. But he chose to stay there at Jacksonville State, a guy that didn't even get a buyout here when he left here. Didn't get a buyout. Honoring his word to his friend instead of going up there with Loxley. Hey, that is an era we're in right now, Jeremy Pruitt. That's highly commendable, my man. Good luck to you in your next poker tournament as well. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, guys. Joshy boy.
Wings.
I'm really surprised I haven't seen Pruitt before up there at Cherokee playing poker. Because I go up there a lot.
Buddy of mine saw Pruitt and Fulmer up there in a poker tournament at
there
different
you
times.
go.
At different times. Fulmer goes up there and plays too. Have you ever seen Fulmer playing?
No. So, Tony, you know where I stand about Dave. I'm for Dave, but I'm not for what he said last night about Gillespie. That was disrespectful and very out of place of him. So,
in your opinion, Josh, because you've had it yourself, okay?
Yep.
You've ridden the pine on here. I have people threatening
I think that's kind of worse what he said about Gillespie than what I said.
I have people right now telling me that if Dave faces Pine Time, that they're never going to listen to the show again. First of all, Josh, do you believe those people that are threatening me, that they're going to walk away over Nega Dave? Do you believe that, Josh?
No.
Okay. Do you believe that we should create a ticket and kick it up to Commissioner Bockwinkel, who did get with you when you got suspended? And can you confirm nor deny that we do have a commissioner of this show?
Yes, you should kick it up to Commissioner Bockwinkel, and yes, I do believe we have a commissioner on the show.
Because Josh got a phone call And how long was your time out, Josh? Do you remember?
It was a whole week.
A whole week. Were you mad when it happened to you, or did you come to see the error of your ways? Which one?
Tony, I served my time, and I think it was for the best to serve my week, and I wasn't mad about it.
You came back as sort of a better caller.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Tony.
You did your debt. You did your debt to the Tony Basilio radio family. See that, Matt? That's the way the corrections industry should work. That's proper correction. And Josh is admitting it now. He's a better caller from it, Matt. Could we make Nega Dave a better caller at the end of this?
If he's willing to be, but something tells me Dave's pretty set in his ways, and he'll be hard to change.
Well, since he's like literally in the chat telling people I'm unrepentant, I don't apologize, I would say it again. I mean, to the guy listening to us in Greenville, I'm ashamed of this. I'm ashamed of this.
Tony, do you think you just said that last night on the postgame show? Because I listened to it. Do you think you just said that in the heat of the moment?
What do you think, Matt? That's the thing about Dave, right?
Well, of course he did. I mean, obviously. But, I mean, Barnes joked about it in a post-game presser like a week ago.
See, that's the thing.
Which is kind of the odd thing.
And that's the thing that has me
and
thinking.
Like, we can go between like a show bit and being serious and like Ewad and our guy in Greenville defending Gillespie. Like all sides are right in this. It's just the blurred line, with sports gambling that I hate, and I think it's the real issue. Nobody really believes Jacoby Gillespie is shaving points. Like nobody believes.
Nobody.
No.
Right. I feel like that needs to be said, but I assume that everybody already knows that. But
Dave doesn't
it feels
either.
like that has to be said.
Right.
That nobody really thinks that.
Right.
Barnes doesn't think that. Dave doesn't think that. And a guy's not going to take a hometown discount to play for the school he grew up loving and start shaving points and gag. That's just not. I mean, that's just so unfathomable that it's crazy we have to even kind of address that.
But Dave is making a good point here, which is interesting. All sports, including college athletics, are now sponsored by gambling sites. Gambling, listen.
Yeah.
The gambling industry, Josh, and you know this. If you when you watch a college basketball game, or you turn ESPN on, how many different gambling companies sponsor that programming? It's unbelievable how many there are, right?
Yeah, it's really unbelievable. At least 3 or 4.
Dave says all sports, including college athletics, are sponsored by gambling sites, and it makes you wonder.
True.
We saw the Class A guy. I'm not saying Jacoby Gillespie did it. I'm just talking about what you see night in and night out. I think it's really interesting that Class A's defense is that he's a victim in all this, Matt, at the end of it. I don't know if you guys have been following that, but here's a guy, a multi-quadrillionaire.
And the Ortiz guy, too.
And the Ortiz guy. These are multi-millionaire baseball players who have made generational money playing baseball, coming out of the countries they came out of, piddling around for a few extra $1,000, Ewad, betting on first pitches. Now we're in serious mode here, E. There is something really wrong with that, Eric. Really wrong with that. This is really, really odd.
Especially when you consider there's the unfortunate example of what happened to Pete Rose's life and career.
That's exactly a great point.
It's just hard for me to fathom the guys that rich would have to be blunt, the itch that bad that they had to put their entire existence at risk. And not to mention their teams, but that doesn't seem to matter. But yeah, it's just it's hard to even fathom. You would do necessary.
The Nega Dave.
Go bet on the horses.
Nega Dave just said, a.k.a. Josh, the village idiot.
Yeah.
That's not nice of me to call him a village idiot, is it, Josh? But that is.
I didn't call him a village idiot.
I did. Barnes said when Barnes said it, he didn't name names, Matt, but we all know who he was aiming that at. That's Nega Dave's
Who's
comment.
going after Jacoby?
I said Gillespie before Barnes said anything. Nega Dave says. He said, so if you guys want to come after me, come after me. He's not backing down, guys.
Hey, Tone, I want to throw a caveat at Dave out the door.
Yep.
I want him to serve his suspension and not up to Commissioner Bachwinkle.
Yep.
But if somehow Rick Barnes makes the Elite Eight this year, I want Dave to come on air, and I want him for 5 minutes to say, I was wrong about Rick Barnes this season and how great of a coach he was. See ya.
Matt, out of 100 chances, okay? In your humble opinion, what are the chances this basketball team makes the Elite Eight? And I'm going to let you think about that. We're going to come back on the other side because I think this team could have a run in them. 865-200-5402. I've got one leftover timeout because Dave pulled me into his undertow of negativity, his undertow of frivolity, his undertow of stupidity. And we'll continue with more on the other side as we bring it back. God, the weather's so pretty outside. I'm in such a great mood. LSU comes to town Saturday. Brian, are you going over to see Kelly Jolly Harper?
Yeah, I want to see the reaction she gets. And
should the crowd stand up and give her a standing ovation tonight, in your humble opinion?
I think they should.
Yep. She comes back as a national champion. She is an all-time Lady Vol legend here. She's a local gal, made good. She's a very sweet and good lady. She just didn't get the job done here. That's all right. I mean, I got fired a time or two in my career. Now I own my own thing. It's hard to fire yourself, but I got fired a time or two when I was working for the man. When I was working for the MCA. Hey, bump, ba-ba-na-na, bump, ba-bump, bump, 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 ba-da-na-na, bump, 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 do-do-do, da-na-na, bump, bump, ba-na-da, bump.
Go to break, Tone.
Matt, are you a Skinnerd fan?
Yeah.
What's your favorite Skinnerd tune? I'm going to give you two. I Know a Little, which Gaines on that one's 19 years old, and he comes up with that pick part there in the key of A. A little shuffle thing. That's incredible. The guitar work on that's incredible. But the song and the lyrics and the whole thing is just so fun. It's great shuffle blues. Second one I love by them is Tuesday's Gone. That song's always gotten me. Always gotten me. I love Tuesday's Gone with the Wind. What a great, beautiful lyric. Beautiful song, When the Train Rolls On. God, it's unbelievable, Andy! We're going to come back. I want to hear from you on the phone lines. Nega Dave's very, very existence as a caller rests in the balance. More after this. Are you currently a residential electrician? Would you like more benefits, better pay, more upside? What about a $3,000 signing bonus? Free company-paid health insurance, annual profit share, company vehicle, gas card, much more. Call Advent Electric today. Advent, known for their large commercial jobs around town, and due to high demand, they're adding additional roles for their residential department. Maybe you know a friend, family member that's a residential electrician. Spread the word. Email hr@adventelectric.com. hr@adventelectric.com. 865-588-0631 and ask for the Tony B 3K signing bonus. Advent Electric is hiring. You got to to dream about buying some land and building on that land? Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a two-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care, I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Basilio here with my buddy, Connexio Kristen.
Hey, Tony. Good to see ya. Connexio builds fleet technology that helps transportation and logistics companies win big. Live GPS, easy ELD and compliance tools, AI dash cameras, and asset tracking, all backed by the #1 U.S. customer support team. Want a better playbook for your operations? Visit Connexio.com/Tony. That's KONEXIAL.com/Tony. Connexio, built for drivers, trusted by fleets, and proud Vol fans.
Tony Basilio here, and I got the great Chad Stockton of FC Alliance 2026. Chad, do you believe we've made it?
Boys and girls teams start off the new year at big national event showcases. We got our younger kids training indoors and doing a lot of things to get better. So we're excited about what the future holds.
Chad, I hear the juice behind you. I hear the kids. Your program reaches throughout East Tennessee. If folks want to get involved, what's the advice?
We're easy to get in touch with. We offer players at all ages, all levels, all experience. We have a program for all of our kids that we have, and we're excited for anyone to join us.
And even some Lady Vols as well. Several college players all over the country, yes?
Absolutely. We had a lot of girls that we were able to watch play in the NCAA tournament. A lot of our former players made big runs through the tournament. We're so excited for them.
Growing the beautiful game. In this, the year of the World Cup in North America, celebrate the beautiful game. Get your child involved. FCAllianceKnox.org. That's FCAllianceKnox.org. And Chad, thank you, man. Keep growing the beautiful game.
Absolutely, Tony, and thank you very much.
Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good.
From the sunrise over the Smokies to the Saturday cheers at Neyland Stadium, Knoxville isn't just where we live, it's home. But let's be honest. Finding your perfect spot in a hot market can feel like a full-time job. Whether you're looking for a Craftsman in 4th and Gill, a family home in Farragut, or a view in South Knox, the market moves fast. You need more than a listing. You need an edge. And that's where I come in, Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty. And I specialize in helping Knoxville buyers win. I don't just find houses, I find the right fit for your budget and your lifestyle. Ready to unlock your front door? Visit nextmovesmokymountains.com or call me at 865-694-5904. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com. And as always, go Vols.
Bradley's and your Tony Basilio show are a Knoxville tradition. And these days, just like Tony B's show has taken off like a rocket ship, so have my friends at Bradley's. Sure, they still have all the delicious chocolate you're used to, like the chocolate-covered popcorn in the assortment boxes. They're now called Bradley's Gift and Home, and they have so much more than chocolate. Bradley's Gift and Home has all kinds of amazing curated gifts, jewelry, candles, and other for her gift items that will keep you from having to go anywhere else. Guys, trust me, as Basilio would say, Bradley's Gift and Home have taken it to the next level. And remember, Bradley's will have freshly dipped chocolate-covered strawberries in milk and white chocolate at both of their locations, 141 North Peters Road and 138 Biddle Farms Boulevard in Farragut next to Tupelo Honey. Strawberries available February 13th and 14th. See you at Bradley's Bradley's Gift and Home. See our website, shopbradleys.com.
So, Matt Dixon, I got to talk to you now as we're welcoming you back on the program. The one thing that this, and we've been talking about this Nega Dave character, and the fact that, you know, our words have consequences. And we think he was saying what he was saying in jest. Now, he's kind of on, you know, he's kind of in the thing saying, you know, blah, 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 I meant it. He didn't really mean it. He knows better than that. But Matt, he expressed to Bino and myself that he really, really loves the show. And Eric was asking, how long did Dave, Dave told me, found the show like 20 years ago, but he started calling like 4 or 5 years ago. And he said, you know, the thing I liked about the show when I first called is you guys were just, you're really inviting and you really enjoyed it. And, he said, you know, the guy he told me and Bino this. He said, I love y'all. He said, but the guy that I really, really admire is Matt. He said, Matt's got the facts and the figures, but he's got the humor. He said, and he snaps like I snap when he gets really mad on the post game. He said, Matt, I'm going to ask you this, and I'm not trying to be funny here, but you think you could take, like to Joshy Boy's call earlier, you think you could take Dave under wing and maybe mold him into like being like a more responsible, maybe even sort of a better caller? I mean, if I say we went the intervention route with him through the commissioner, would you be willing to maybe counsel him?
I mean, I could try and give him some thoughts and pointers, but I'm not sure. Something tells me Nega Dave's not going to change much. That he's kind of set in his ways.
Eric, would you accept that as a point of remediation? You're the one that brought this up today, or do you think it's just ironclad that the guy has to get suspended?
I don't have a ironclad feeling. I just thought that it's one, like I said, it's one thing to be critical of a guy's game. It's another to be critical of his character. If I felt like he wasn't trying to do that and I misunderstood the intent of what he was saying, I'd back off on that. So, but I would like to know what his thoughts are. Is he, for lack of a better term, is he unrepentant? And believe me, I'm not trying to turn that into a biblical sin thing. I just, did you mean what you said, how I interpreted you said it?
Back to the phones we go. I just, Matt's right, though. The thing that complicates the thing is that Barnes himself says when you watch us play, it feels like we're shaving points. It's almost like, and our fella from Greenville that knows the family, he's like, yeah, Jacoby does crazy things on the court. He just does. He does a lot of great things. The weirdest thing about the Gillespie guy, Matt, is that an 18-0 run happened with him on the floor last night, and not once did he try to get downhill and stop the bleeding, which is what you would want from somebody that's instinctive, that's got to be thinking about, hey, I got to take the ball to the hole here and get fouled. That's the strangest thing about the sport.
Yeah, correct. Because he was the only guy that was on the floor for the entire run.
Yeah,
I think
he never did.
Barnes did the hockey lineup and subbed 4 guys out. When he called that timeout and brought Ament back in. But yeah, Gillespie was on the floor the entire time. So yeah, you would like for your point guard, especially a scoring point guard and a veteran like him, to at some point he has to end that run either by scoring, by getting to the free throw. Like you almost have to have that guy do that at some point. And really, he doesn't even need to be told that. He just has to kind of know to do that, which I think Ziegler was really, really good at that, even though he kind of had some limitations offensively.
Right.
He was really good about feeling the game.
Gillespie's got so much more physical ability than ZZ. Jacoby will not get swallowed by Houston like ZZ did last year. Well, we saw it earlier. He won't. He'll be able to stand up in that game. But what ZZ had, like Matt's talking about, ZZ just had that sense of the pocket to the musicians out there, and that sense of time, and that sense of what to play, when to play, and just played the right notes, and knew when to get other people involved. It's just a feel thing. It's an interesting thing that Jacoby would be on the floor, because I went back and looked at the whole flurry last night, and he was on the floor from pillar to post during it. And never once did he try to get downhill and get to the foul line, which is an odd thing. So we'll go to the phones. 865-200. 5402 is the number. But Matt, you bring up a great point about Gillespie, which needs to be underscored here, which is that he gave Tennessee, he could have made probably twice as much money as he made coming here. It was always his dream to wear this uniform. It's truth. That's just a dead level fact. The thing that would have been really neat or interesting is if they could have gotten Rodney Rice too. But Muss had to get in there and mess up the plans. Muss, who's a total psycho, by the way. Go to the phones. So, I don't know. I don't know what to make of this whole Dave thing. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air.
Gino Muppet.
Brian, should we give him some chocolate-covered strawberries from Brad? Oh, he hung up. I was going to give him some chocolate-covered strawberries, Bri. From over at Bradley's Gift and Home. Should we show our sense of humor to Brad and Joy and put Cattleman on there? And then maybe look up the phone number for the payphone in Rocky Hill. Does that payphone still exist there outside the old Pilot C store in Rocky Hill? Is that payphone still there that he used to call from, Bri?
I don't go over to Rocky Hill, so I have no idea.
People used to say they would see him walking with a sock full of quarters, Matt, if you can picture this. Like me and the great Billy Knightley back in the day when we would go to Longwood Gardens. Look it up, kids. It's a real place. And we would go to what back then I called the Eye of Water when I was living in Pennsylvania. The Eye of Water, Joey Calgieri. And when the park would close, we would take our shoes off. I would wear big, huge, thick tube socks. I was probably like 11 or 12 years old. And I would dive in there and get as many quarters out of the Eye of Water as I could that all the tourists had thrown into the thing, Matt. And then take the quarters and go down and play Pac-Man and Asteroids, Matt, at the local Dairy Queen because they had 2 video games in the back. Now, what do you think of me sharing that piece of childhood with you?
I like it. I love it.
Mm-hmm. One time we brought a bunch of pennies in when it was a low night on quarters. And one of the businesses where we went and took the penny wrappers to said, "Why are these pennies wet?" We learned a lesson that night. You have to always dry out the pennies. But let's go back to the phones. Could you see a young Tony Basilio, Matt, wading through the fountains, pulling out quarters so he could play video?
I can see an old Tony Basilio wading through the fountain.
One night we got caught because Billy's father worked there by this guy, and he said, "Billy, I'm not going to tell your father. You're going to tell your father." And I'm on Scouts. You got a Scouts honor. You know, I'm going to trust that you're going to do that. You think Billy ever told his father? That'd be a negative. But let's go back to the phones.
You were the wet bandits.
Shout out to the cattle call. Great call from the cattle call. Gino Muppet. Gino. Brian, when he calls in, I hear that little
You know, you could hit the dump button on it and he'd never get on the air. And that would make his effort in vain. That's what I do.
Ooh, somebody brought up Travis Tritt. He's got a few quarters. I love me some Travis Tritt, man. I love his voice. And I love that kind of like raspy country rock that Travis Tritt played. I love that little duet that he did with Marty Stewart, which shouldn't work, but it does. This one's gonna hurt you for a long, long time. That Marty Stewart's a damn king of cool now. God, what a cool guy. 2 guys that have jobs that I'd love to have is Marty Stewart and what he's always done. I don't know if his show's still on over there at RFD. And the other one, Bri, that I love is this Hubbard guy last night. We were talking during the break. Hubbard is a YMCA player's dream. Anybody that goes to their local Y and lets it rip. Yes or no, Bri? What do you think?
He is one reason that I would watch a Mississippi State basketball game just to see how many shots he takes and to see what percentage of the points he scores.
Brian, give me that statistic that you gave me earlier about how the bad teams are just getting the absolute hell obliterated out of them, and then we'll go back to the phones.
So road teams are 42-46 in SEC games this year, and 22 of those 42 road wins have come at the expense of the bottom 5 teams, the Mississippi schools, LSU, Oklahoma, and South Carolina. That's over half.
I love him. That Hubbard guy, Matt. He got that great release point. He's shooting balls falling down. He threw a 3-ball in last night off balance. I mean, he's fun. Isn't he fun? He's a fun player.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially on one of these kind of bad or just kind of average teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's what makes the sport fun because, I mean, he'd go for 31?
31.
Single-handedly kept them in the game in the first half with some just incredible shots. So, yeah, those guys are great. Great for the sport.
Yeah, he doesn't have the type of personality, but he kind of reminds me of Marshall Henderson to a degree.
Marshall Henderson was in a world basketball, college
where
basketball
he
needed
kept
more
shooting.
Of those guys. Oh yeah. Marshall Mathers was so fun, dude. I will never, ever, 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 as long as I live, forget when they played that game at Auburn, and he hit that 3-ball right in front of the Rich section, and he went over and taunted that old Rich dude that was just dog cussing him, and Marshall Mathers went. What do I call him that? Marshall Henderson went over and got right in the guy's face, Matt. Do you remember that like it was wrestling?
How could I forget?
It was
one of the great gifs of all time. Incredible.
And the poor guy just stood
if
there.
If that happened at Tennessee, Henderson would have pulled the guy's lanyard.
The lanyards! Mark Griffin going off on the lanyards Tuesday was just so all-time. On the Mark Griffin basketball celebration / Marky Mark and the Lunchy Bunch happy hour. Let's get our next call in. Dave says we need to tamper with Hubbard. All right, Matt, what % chance we go to the Elite Eight? I teased that before our timeout. Now we'll come back to it, and then we'll go to the phones.
5 to 10.
What do you think, Eric Wadell?
I would probably go 15 to 20.
Brian Hartman?
To the 8. You're saying to the 8,
Elite
not the
8.
16.
Elite 8, yep.
Yeah.
I would go no higher than 25%, 1 in 4 chance.
I give us a 60% chance of getting to the Sweet 16 with this team. 60% chance. Is that fair, Matt? Sight unseen, 60% chance.
No, I think that's just way too high.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? With those 2 great players on the floor in March? Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to be anything higher than a 4 seed, so you have two games where the second round game is almost like a toss up, and then your first round game you're going to be likely a single digit favorite. So just the odds alone, very few teams that are 60% to make the Sweet 16 at the start of the tournament. I don't see the upside with this team that you do, because I just think they have these inherent flaws that ultimately they can't overcome, regardless of how good their 2 star players are.
Matt, I find the tournament, it's taught me this in recent years, especially in this era, to be so random. It's like watching the baseball playoffs, man. Just so random. Don't you agree with that, Eric?
The draw means everything, though.
It means everything. It means everything, yeah.
If we got a great draw, my percentage would have been up near 30.
If we go off as a 5 seed, Eric, and play a team that's got veteran guards that kind of know what they're doing and can control the flow, and we get knocked out in the first round too with this team. Don't get me wrong. Dave is on here saying Tony's the same guy that expected to win at Kentucky. Dave, that game was highly winnable. Should have been a win. It was actually a pretty good call by me. I mean, we're up 14 at the half. You should win that game.
How different would we feel if they just win one of those Kentucky games and maybe beat Syracuse?
Back to the phones we go. The Syracuse game, bro, was so long. You brought that up the other day. I forgot we lost to them. They suck so bad. God, that's a bad loss. That guy's about to get fired. Or as Beavis once said, Mrs. Doubt, fire, fire, fire. Mrs. Doubt, fire.
They'd be 19-5 and 8-3 in the SEC.
Hey, Matt, do you remember why Beavis did Mrs. Doubt fire before we go back to the phones? Because what happened was there was a young kid in Kentucky, Matt, I kid you not, that said that they were inspired by Beavis to go light things on fire because he used to scream, yeah, fire, fire, fire. And so Mike Judge showed a clip of Robin Williams as Mrs. Doubtfire, and then in a later episode he screamed Mrs. Doubtfire, as a way to get fire back in there. Anyway, only in Kentucky. Our kissing cousins. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air.
What do you say, Tom?
Hey, Lee, welcome in.
Okay. So, I heard what Rick Barnes said, and I heard what Dave said. And they're not remotely the same. Like, it's completely different.
In what way?
Rick Barnes said, okay, sometimes I don't really understand what my team is thinking, and it makes me wonder if they're betting on sports. That's what he said, and he was laughing about it. And he immediately acknowledged it and was like, I probably shouldn't have said it, but, and everybody was kind of laughing. Dave, specifically called out Jacoby Gillespie. Like, Jacoby Gillespie shaving points. And, refuses to acknowledge it. You got to have a sense of, your surroundings and, where you fit in your environment and who you are. Like, Rick Barnes knows he could probably say that in jest. You got to have some awareness. I don't know how else to say it, but they're not really remotely the same thing. Accusing somebody of point shaving, when I took it as he really meant it. I don't think Dave said it in jest. It seemed to me like he meant it.
Do you think Dave's one of those real emotional types that just kind of doesn't really mean it though when he says it?
Oh, sure. I have no doubt. Humans are emotional, but man, being emotional and having low emotional IQ is not an excuse. You're supposed to be an adult. This is a basketball game, man. Against Mississippi State.
Well, he's saying he's talking to you on YouTube. He says, Dave, he says, Lee, I like you. He says, I'm a nobody, and Rick Barnes is the head basketball coach at the University of Tennessee.
Exactly. No, you're wrong. Know where you fit. Know where you fit into the grand scheme of things. You can't. Some people can get away with saying some stuff that other people probably can't. But it was very clear that Rick Barnes was somewhat in jest. He was somewhat joking about it. He was laughing about it. And I'm sorry, Dave, you weren't. You've been on Jacoby Gillespie all year long. After every game, you call in and talk about how bad he sucks.
That's such a great point, Matt. You know that? This Dave guy has had a stiffy for this Gillespie guy all year, Matt. That is true.
Yeah, no,
it's been really unfair toward him. He's been really unfair toward him.
He's been hard and really just extremely critical of Gillespie all season.
Way beyond.
Just statistically, he's one of the best players in the SEC and one of the best point guards in the country.
Let me read this to you. Some facts and figures, Dave. Dave, I know you don't want to let the facts get in the way of your hatred of the guy, but this is just the truth here, okay? When you look at the numbers, and my man Lee will tell you, he'll take you under wing. This is EvanMaya.com. Top point guards as measured by BPR. Okay, over player value using box score stats, advanced on and off plus minus data, and also historical information, Dave. This is all weighted. I want Lee's thoughts on this. Braden Smith's #1 in the country. Jeremy Fears at Michigan State. Tears to Fears is #2. Silas DeMary at Connecticut, who is a world-class player. Kingston Flemings is #4. And number 5 is Jacoby Gillespie from Tennessee. Lee, would you ever know that Jacoby Gillespie's number 5 on this list? By the way, Dave carries on.
No. I've been trying to say all year, he's an elite player in college basketball. Is there some negative stuff, like the turnovers that come along with it? Yes, but the overall product, at the end of the day, and what you get is as good as anybody in college hoops. I don't know. I guess I don't understand, why is it, Dave, I actually like Dave's phone calls, but I don't agree with, saying, somebody's, accusing somebody of point shaving. That's not a felony you can go to jail for. It seems like when players leave our program, and then he calls in and says how much better the team would be when they had him, but when they were here, he calls in and dogs them out all the time. If you want, why do you want to go get the kid from Mississippi State, Hubbard, when he comes on the team? Then you're just going to call in after every game if he's on the team and talk about how bad he is
and how lazy he is on defense. That's exactly what he'll say about him, right? You know what?
It's just,
you know what the guy's name is, don't you? Nega Dave. You know how you get Nega in front of your name? Hey, I'll tell you this. When I hugged his wife the other night, I said, hello, Nega Sheila. She looked at me, and he started laughing. I did. I said, hey, Nega Sheila. She said, I'm not Nega. She said, when he's watching sports, she said, I go in the other room. She said, I don't stay in the same room with him when he's watching the Vols. Can you imagine being in the same room with that guy watching the Vols?
I mean, look, I love Tennessee. At the end of the day, it's a basketball game. I'm not gonna flop the roof and say some stuff that I shouldn't do because of a basketball game. Here's the other thing. I don't understand. How are you accusing a player of point shaving in a game that they covered?
That's why it's got to be a bit, right? That's what it's got to be. That's what it is. Yeah, that's what it. Thank you, Lee. See, and we'll just leave it there. I think that's the best point of them all, Bri.
That's a mic drop, and I'll see you tomorrow.
See y'all tomorrow. Poor Dave, and your comments, Dave, in the chat today. Dave. Well, I got to figure it out. Tomorrow I'll have it in the blog whether or not we create a ticket and kick it up the line. Dave, I'll say this. You haven't been really contrite in the chat today. You haven't really been contrite. Eric Wadell, thank you, brother. Great having you.
It was a pleasure. Let's do it again sometime.
Anytime, man. We'd love to have you on the basketball postgame, especially since your Bearcats blow.
Huh. I know. I'm a great foil right now.
CB Brent TV says, really piss poor show today, Tony. You know what? I might put a Twitter poll out tomorrow and let the listeners decide if Nega Dave should get the heave-ho. Till we meet again, I love you. I appreciate you. CV, thank you for your vote of confidence. Kiffin's Rec Lexus says, great show. I don't know. But, hey, we had a little fun in middle of February before things start to heat back up. Our basketball team, though, Bino with the best analogy ever. Like watching a baseball team with a leaky bullpen. Such a great point by Bino. That is just, that's award-winning, man. That's what that is. Award-winning stuff from Bino. That's powerful stuff. Fabulous Thunderbirds. Baseball, that's what it is, a baseball preview. We ought to do in the third hour, we ought to do a favorite Skinner song. It's a shame with YouTube we can't play tunes. They would nuke me so quickly if I played songs on here. Who's fired up, focused, and prepared for some baseball, Matt Dixon? We got baseball weather outside. Matt, would you believe that 2 weeks ago? That we just in time to start the season, we've got some spring weather here in East Tennessee.
Very welcome sight to not have snow and ice covering the ground like we had for like 10 days.
And I've been out walking. I've been walking in the park. Let's see, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. It's been so nice to get outside. So just nice, and it's so good for your mood. And it's the season of amore. Because when the sky hits your eye like a big pizza pie, Bri, you know what that is, don't you? What is that, Bri?
No, but I'd like some pizza right now.
That's amore. Bri, what do you put on a pizza pie?
Mushrooms. Could be sausage. Could be hamburger beef. Could be spinach. Could be the meatball pizza that they had the other day at Smoky Mountain Brewery.
Oh!
Which is delicious, by the way.
Ah, Dubsy. I never took you to be an unga guy. When the sky hits your eye like a big pizza pie, you're up till 1 o'clock in the morning. When you're watching the Vols win a road game that's not a quad one win, that's amore. You know how bad these teams are at the bottom of the league, Matt? You go on the road and you win a game in the SEC and it's not even a quad one win. How bad is that, Matt? 3 of them. There are 3 teams in this league. South Carolina, not a quad one win. Ole Miss, not a quad one win. I mean, what in the world, guys? That used to be a given.
Those road wins by SEC teams are at the expense of the bottom 5 teams. 22 of the 42 are at the expense of the bottom 5.
Read the statistic, because we're getting ready to preview one of the bottom feeders in the league with the great Ron Higgins. But really, I want to talk about the Lane Kiffin circus with him. Matt, if we're talking to Higgs coming up, and you bring him on under the pretext of doing a basketball preview for Saturday night, if you're me, right, what percentage of this do we talk about the basketball deal? What percentage of this do we talk about the football and even skim mulkey?
I think you could go 75% about football.
Yeah.
I mean, if you wanted to talk Kim Mulkey, although I guess John Adams isn't here to do that. I mean, heck, you mentioned college baseball. You could probably talk about LSU baseball.
That's a great idea.
Instead of their basketball team.
Great idea. Matt, I don't know if you saw the item, but recently Dave Van Horn gave an interview, and he basically admitted that he talked Tony Vitello. He counseled him into taking the Giants job. He said, look, you're going to carry the flag for all of college baseball. You're the first guy that's ever gotten an opportunity like this, and if it crashes out on you, you can always end up back here. You could always end up back in college baseball. Somebody would always take you. Those guys couldn't wait to get Tony Vitello out of here, Matt, so they could have college baseball back. Isn't that interesting that he would say that out loud? Yes.
Yes. Hopefully he's very successful with the Giants. Because I don't want to see him anywhere else bringing a team here.
David Ackworth has a great question, because the Vols last night, I have to give them credit, they were in the process of blowing out an absolutely morbid Mississippi Mistake team. Yeah, I want Tony, if he comes back, to get like the UCLA job. We can cheer for him. I can wear some of that baby blue.
Here's a hypothetical scenario. Would you be okay with Arkansas winning a national championship this year and Van Horn retiring, but they're unable to hire Vitello because he has enough success to stay with San Francisco?
Interesting. David Ackworth asks, here's some homework for Brian. Has a team ever given up an 18-0 run and still won a game? I would imagine the teams that have done that, you could probably count on one hand. Because generally, you give up an 18-0 run in a game and you're folding like a cheap tent. That's how good this Ament guy is, though. That's how good he is. Because this Ament guy...
Well, it's also how bad Mississippi State is.
And it's how bad they are. But Ament, you just flip him the ball. The other thing about 18-0 runs, and we've seen this in basketball, it really exhausts you to come back from a huge deficit. It's an exhausting thing. But that was, we were doing Garza Law, Tennessee basketball overtime, and I said to myself, I'm going to do about 45 minutes tonight and get out of here. Because, it's kind of Mississippi State, and it's kind of midnight, and it's kind of like, I don't know what it is, but that was sort of my sense. And then we were on here for like an hour and a half. Because I'm a sicko. And our team is, Bino's got a great analogy, a cross-sport analogy, with it being baseball season. The Vols have a leaky bullpen. Because last night's game, Matt, the way that thing was going, what was the score if that was a baseball game? At one point, it was what?
I think you mentioned it like 12-3, something of that, and 12-3, and going to the bottom of the seventh.
And then they ended up bringing the tying run. They ended up bringing the.
They had the tying run on deck.
Yes.
It never got to be a one-score game. They never had, Mississippi State was never within closer than 5.
That's just what it felt like.
Yeah, but it's a great analogy. It's the more I think about it, the more it works.
Yeah.
You have
because you end up
the
mad.
turnovers or walks. And,
yeah.
Boot a couple of balls. You always end up putting guys on base.
And then you're mad at the end of the
clean
game.
Innings.
And you're mad at your team at the end of the game because you. And it's not just and you made a great point last night, and so did Nashville Lee. It's not just us. It's the game of college basketball. We're going to play this later, but the head coach at Mississippi State or at Kansas State freaked out last night, went in full freak-out mode. He said to Kim Caldwell, "Hold my beer." You think what Kim Caldwell said Sunday was something? This cat went off last night. This cat went off, okay? I mean, this guy went off. And basically what he said is, get a real good look at the guys on my team because they're not going to be here next year.
Did you hear Tad Boyle do the same thing?
Brian, I think Brian, that this NIL era on the men's and women's side, I think it's going to start breaking these coaches. Kim Caldwell might have been the first to do it, but she ain't going to be the last. She is not going to be the last. This dude went off on his basketball team. And I mean off.
Jerome Tank.
Yes. It's what's for breakfast, Tang.